Welcome everyone to session 2 of A Time to Harvest, a Call of Cthulhu campaign. Where we started last time is we are on a college field trip. We are all either undergrad or graduate level students. One of us is a assistant professor, or I forget if it's an assistant or a emeritus professor. One of us is a professor at Miskatonic University. And this field trip has been in the works for a while. It was attempted last year, this year being 1930. It was attempted back in 1929 and met with disaster. There were at least one of the students' body was found to be deceased. Looks as though he had fallen from a great height, and 2 others were never found but presumed lost. And one of the students that was supposed to go on that expedition had broken his arm the night before and had to miss, but he is with us now, wanting to see this through, if nothing for his own self, but also for the memory of his classmates that fell last year. The field trip has been organized by Federated Oil and Chemical, which has kindly paid the expenses for us to undertake this field trip, in the hopes that we might conduct some geologic surveys looking for some ore that they've called Pasqualium. It seems to be an as yet uncategorized or unknown metallic element. We do have a data sheet on it, but they're hoping that they found a sample and they're hoping to find more. And so that's kind of the point of the field trip. But we also, since we're already out here, we've been able to get them to pay for an anthropological survey as well, and some of us are out gathering folklore from the locals in this area. And that area is Cobb's Corners, a rural part of Vermont. When we arrived, we were joined with other students and put into one of 2 groups. One group is the group that goes about doing the geologic survey, and in that group we've got Clarissa Thurber, a young African-American woman, along with Marian, played by Alex, and the 2 of you have kind of partnered up to a small extent. I believe Clarissa met with you kind of early on and said, hey, let's share what we find and let's work together. We've got Julian Mercer, who is also in that group, played by Cross. And we have 3 other NPCs, Lewis Gibbons, Harry Higgins, and Roderick Little Rod Block. And Julian, you have been working with Marian, but also Harry Higgins, this fellow here, a young Irish lad who has an unfortunate birthmark on the side of his face. He has tried to befriend you as well. Now, Robert Blaine, he is the student that was supposed to go on the ill-fated expedition last year, but broke his arm. He is here kind of guiding us, and he has definitely a leadership role, helping the professors to make sure that this is run efficiently. In group 2, those that are doing the anthropologic surveys, we've got our Professor Jebediah Baldwin, played by Henrik. And you are here because one of the other professors was unable to be here. He had a prior engagement, so he asked if you wouldn't mind going. And then along are Arthur Finch, played by Miss Pick, and Arthur Finch is a rather shy student who has had some unfortunate experiences on the first few days of this expedition. Now, he has befriended a young man named Jason Trent, who honestly seems a little weird. He is very much a loner. He's got this book that he's constantly skimming through and seems to have some sort of fascination with perhaps the occult, at least what Arthur's been able to gather looking at his book. But I think someone described him as being shifty-eyed, and that seems to be holding true through our experiences. Likewise, in that group, we have Gerald Rawlinson, played by Luke, And Gerald is a kind of a wealthy student. Your benefactor, Mr. Rawlinson, he turns out he is friends with the head of Federated Oil and Chemical, and in fact I forget his name. I know it's in your backstory, so let me just grab that real quick. Michael Abelard, head of Federated Oil and Chemical. He's friendly with Mr. Rawlinson, and likewise in the group you have Terence Laszlo, who's another wealthy student, but this one, he was born into family wealth. He doesn't have a benefactor. He has rich parents. And he seemed to want to side with Gerald until he determined that Gerald was maybe not of blue blood stock himself. And so he seemed to maybe turn a little bit of a cold shoulder to Gerald, but he still wants to seem to work with Gerald. And then William Noakes, the remaining NPC student that is just kind of happy to be there, just all around kind of jovial sort of person. And you have gone checking out some of the local farms, gathering up stories, bits of folklore and legends in the local area, and some of them have been kind of creepy, and some of them have been maybe hard to believe. But as Jebediah, as you have mentioned, you know that folklore is not always true, that there are nuggets of truth that must be sifted out from the clay, and that you shouldn't take what you hear at face value, although some of the stories are likely true, some are likely false, but most probably have elements of truth in them, but have been embellished over the retellings. We had a day of, when we first arrived, of meeting some of the townsfolk. We went into Cobb's Corner, and in fact, let me pull up a map. Take us to Cobb's Corners. Here is a map of Cobb's Corners. Let me get the pause off of here. When we first came into town, we were taken to the Civil War Memorial in the town square, and there's actually a cannon there that I guess on the 4th of July they fire off, to celebrate the independence of the United States. And we were then taken to Jim's Grill, which was this building over here, and we had a fine lunch. Now, outside of Jim's Grill, we were accosted by one of the local reporters for the local paper, who started taking our names and some of our stories, wanted to know who we were, something about us, and we seemed to get the idea that this was some sort of tabloid rag, that he was maybe writing things that were a little bit extreme, looking for readership. Basically, gossip is what he was after. And he did take a picture of all of us, and then we went into the diner. There we met Sheriff Dan Spencer and Deputy John Cutter. The sheriff did not seem pleased at all to see us. In fact, he basically told us, stay out of everyone's way, don't cause any trouble. If I so much as get a hint that you guys are troublemakers, then there will be hell to pay. And then he left. The deputy was much, much kinder. He gave us a little bit of a warmer welcome, showed us a little bit more around town, showed us some of the buildings. We didn't really get to meet a lot of the locals, but he did point out, there's Dr. Owen Perry's medical practice, and over there's the school, and that's the First Baptist Church of the Divine Ascension, and that's where the sheriff's office is, and so on and so forth. He then took us back to where we were staying, which was the McLaren farmhouse, and I'll take us there. This is kind of a secluded, abandoned farmhouse. John McLaren, that lived here with his wife Sarah, apparently tragedy struck, and after she died, he lost his grip on reality and has turned to alcohol. And so he spends most nights in the jail. Turns out his wife that passed away is actually the sister of the sheriff, and maybe that's why the sheriff is not real thrilled that we're staying in essentially his sister's house, his deceased sister's house. Maybe that's why he's didn't give us the warmest of welcomes. And certainly John would not be thrilled to know that a bunch of students have, holed up in his home that he shared with his wife. But in this home, there is a telephone. It was arranged here specifically for us. Normally there would not be a phone. And we've got our sleeping arrangements, girls in one room, boys kind of sharing a larger room, and Robert Blaine, of course, taking his own room because it would be unseemly for him to share the room with the other students as leader of the expedition. Now, there were a few happenings the first night. I believe it was Marian that had a dream, and it was a bit of a troubling dream. And that should be in the handouts. I think probably only Marian has access to that dream.
Yes.
Yes. So you essentially were lying upon a flower bed, and you saw the night sky above you, a huge gibbous moon rising. The moon seemed sinister. There was a faint rustling noise amongst the flowers. And then you turned and you looked towards the dark woods, those sugar maple woods that are near the McLaren house. And then you saw a myriad of glowing eyes appearing in the tree line, blinking and feral. Then there was a man's cry, long and painful, and you heard your name shouted aloud, twice. The second time was so loud it awakened you, and you were back in your bed, sweating, confused, and frightened. That evening as well, I believe, Arthur had to use the outhouse, and when he got up, he was a little bit noisy, woke up Jason Trent, who he asked, will you accompany me out to the outhouse? And I think William Noakes went with you as well. And you were already kind of forming a team. You went out to the outhouse and you heard, Arthur, William and Jason leave. And then when you came out, you were all alone. And you saw a rustling in the tall grass between the outhouse and that sugar maple forest. And it began to move towards you rather quickly. And so you hurried into the farmhouse, and there you saw Jason and William still lying in bed. And you asked them why they left, and they acted like they'd been sleeping this whole time. And you began to wonder, did I dream that, or did that really happen? And you peeked out the window and you saw some sort of furry shape, perhaps a raccoon or a possum or maybe a gopher, kind of lunge from the weeds near the house into the deeper weeds and scurry away. But you didn't get a really good look, not enough to identify it. The next morning, as you went out and kind of explored the house, I believe this is when Marian and Gerald noticed that there was a lovely flower bed just outside the kitchen window. Seemed the rest of the yard was very unkempt, unweeded, and overgrown, but this flower bed seemed to be well tended. There were no weeds. Everything was well organized. If this were wildflowers, this would be very improbable. Perhaps this was Sarah's flower bed at one point, but no longer. And then as you were heading out to the cars, that's when Marian caught a first glimpse of some strange creature. It looked like a large rat, but it was standing on its hind legs, in its forepaw, clutching a small, basically a dagger, it looked like, and it was stalking a hare that was nibbling on some grass. And it turned and looked at you as you were startled, and the hare leapt away, and this thing gave you a glance like it was upset. It was mad, and it marked your face as though it would return to exact vengeance on you at some point, or so you may have thought. You tried to follow the tracks, but they were lost in the grass. And so you went on your way. Now the rest of that day, Julian and Marian and the others in the first group, they went exploring, doing the survey, and you found some strange rocks, some lodestone and some dolomite mixed with talc crystals. And then you found a great find. You found some arrowheads and some small circular indentations on the ground. And the rest of your time that day was spent cataloging these finds. The other group, they got all sorts of stories, folklore from the locals, and much of it was kind of terrifying in nature, but you all returned back to the farm, kind of shared what you had learned. You then went to bed again, and this time Marian and I believe Gerald, was it Gerald?
Yep.
Yeah. Gerald had a dream, and you both had the same dream. And in this dream you awoke in complete darkness, not to a starless night or a curtained room, but the absolute darkness of the void. And though your eyes felt open, nothing could be seen through the impenetrable blackness. The only sensation was a slight buzzing in your ears. And this, though through slow increments, grows in volume until it becomes a terrible buzzing, and you thought you could hear words throbbing through the uneven tones. An excruciating pain followed, and then you began to see strange images, fragmentary visions of forests, of a city of sky-blue marble, of a windswept and desolate place, spotted with squat granite huts, or perhaps a twilight world illuminated by sickly yellow orbs. And then you found yourself inside an overgrown clearing of twisted weeds surrounded by trees, sugar maple trees. It was broad daylight, yet no bird was singing. You heard a gut-wrenching woman's scream, and then you awoke back in bed, frightened and confused. And that is where we pick up. It is now day 3. You wake up bright and early, and Blaine begins to give everyone assignments again for the day. He wants the first group, the geologic group, to go back to the hill that you were at and see if you can find anything else. In fact, petroglyphs were found. I forgot to mention that. You found some writing on one of the rocks left by perhaps the Abenaki Indians. And he thought there would be at least good to spend another day seeing if there were anything else in the area. And the second group, you were going to go and ask a few more outlying farms for any information. Is there anything anyone wants to do before you load yourselves up into the trucks and head out? Gerald, you, as you are heading out to the car, Terrence Laszlo, this kind of sneering young man, comes up to you and says, "Yeah, Gerald, look, yesterday you kind of took the lead on a few of these stories, and I think it would be better if perhaps today if I asked the questions, and perhaps you just listen. And take notes, of course, but does that sound okay to you?"
Well, Terrence, that sounds entirely fair to me. I did learn quite a bit and didn't take such good notes, so maybe I'll focus on that this time.
Oh, excellent. And you, and he points over at Arthur and Jason, you two just try not to upset the locals, if you don't mind. We're trying to put on a good show. Try and at least look smart, if you can't act smart.
Well, I think we did a fine job yesterday.
Fine job indeed. I think you frightened some of those poor folk into trying to scare us away. You need to get their trust. These are simple people. Offer them bribes. Offer them, perhaps we can find some alcohol. That will loosen some tongues. Don't try and be, Arthur Finch student. Try to be good old Art. A local friend, someone who they can trust upon. Much like myself, I will of course have them call me Terry or any such. Mr. Laszlo will be just fine, but Art or Jason or such. But definitely just try not to get in the way, if you don't mind. And Arthur, you didn't do anything wrong yesterday.
Yeah. Well, okay.
You, Arthur, may I speak with you a moment? And your fellows, I'd like one of you to take my place with the others. I'd care to join Arthur today, if that's all right.
Well, William says, "Sure, Professor. Me and Gerald and Terrence, we can make up a team, and you and Arthur and Jason, you guys can go knock doors on the other side of the street."
Yes, very good of you. I assure you, you will do well today. Second day is always better.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you have split into essentially two groups because you do have two vehicles, and so those two groups will be able to go off and do things. Robert Blaine gets the first group together and says, "I'm going to go with you guys again today. I think what we found, these arrowheads and these petroglyphs, I think this is far more important than whatever stories the others are going to get. And Clarissa, maybe stay close to me. I just make sure that we're safe. There was a ledge that we were working on yesterday. That spot that was a little shady, and I was a little concerned. I'd hate to see you slip and fall." And he looks at Marian and Julian and you as well. Let's all just be careful today. Be cautious. And Julian, you recall what happened last year, and that one of the students presumably fell to their death. And Robert definitely seems to be mindful that nothing like this should happen to anyone else. But I want you to give me a psychology roll. You can, if you want to, you can spend luck, or you can push that. Based on what he says, you kind of get the impression he is concerned about your safety. If you want to push that, you can ask him a follow-up question. What do you ask him? Ooh, and you nailed it. Nice. What do you ask him?
I'll ask him. Yeah, like, why do you think it's so important? You know, why coming over is so important to you?
You mean why it's important to be safe on an expedition, or what do you mean?
Like, why does he need to be on the side of the team?
Ooh,
like this yeah.
Got it. He says, "Look, I just feel like this is the more important group. That the finds that this group makes are going to be what really drives the research. The other group, yeah, you remember that ghost story that Deputy Cutter told us around the campfire that first night about some ghost?
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's never going to make it into any sort of scientific literature, any sort of journal or anything like that. No, I want to be where the true finds are, and that's this group. You six, you're the best that Miskatonic has to offer for this expedition.
Wow.
And,
okay.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to be the ones that drive this. After all, Federated Oil and Chemical, they're paying for this, and they want results.
Right.
We're going to be the ones that.
So do you want to find that Pasqualian?
Yes.
Or
yeah.
do you want to? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That's really what I'm after. But above all, I want everyone to be safe. And he actually takes a step closer towards Clarissa when he says that.
Okay.
So that's what your psychology roll gets you, is that he steps closer to Clarissa when he talks about safety. And sorry, what was your question?
Can I do it can I do a spot hidden on what kind of, or can I just ask him what can you provide for safety? Like, is he carrying some kind of weapon? What is he?
He does, yeah, give me a spot hidden to see if he's got a weapon. He's not openly carrying anything, but a spot hidden might reveal something. Nice. He does have, there's kind of a bulge beneath his shirt on his right hip, and you would guess it's probably the hilt of a knife. Probably has a knife in a sheath, and his shirt and jacket are hanging low over it, but you can see when he turns his body, it looks like there's maybe something there.
That's totally normal.
Totally normal, right?
Yeah.
But But yeah, it looks
Right.
like he has something there.
Okay. I'm gonna point it out to him and be like, "Hey, what's up with the bulge with that on your trousers? Nothing I need to be concerned about. What you got hiding in there?"
When you say that, Roderick Block starts chuckling. Yeah, Blaine. What's about that bulge? And he kind of points and snickers, and Harry Higgins, the young Irish lad, just kind of shakes his head. Robert takes a step back and says, "Hey, look, this is in case someone gets tangled up in some of the ropes. We got ropes in the truck, and in case we gotta make some sort of pulley and raise some stones or something, lift something heavy. Well, if someone gets tangled up in there, I gotta have a means to get them free, and this is the fastest means. Look, it's just an old knife," and he pulls out this knife, and it's actually kind of a large knife, about a 6-inch blade, which would be
Holy shit. Okay.
yeah, it's
Like a
not
crocodile hunting knife.
yeah, like a big, basically a big hunting knife. This is not like a small knife. You wouldn't cut an apple or something with this. This would be to like skin an animal kind of knife.
Can I do like a slight? Oh, I'm not really. Like, can I just take it off him? Like, can I ask her? Like, maybe I can handle that. That knife rather than you.
Ooh, give me a roll. You can either do fast talk or persuade. Ooh. He kind
Not
of
gonna get that one.
he shakes his head. He's like, no. Look, as lead of this expedition, I think it's best that I keep it. Again, I don't want anyone to get hurt, and I don't know if you know your way around a knife. I mean, it's not like a trowel or something, digging through the dirt. You can push that if you like.
Okay. No, that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
He says, but look, the main goal is to be safe. And Julian, I want you to be safe as well. So just, everyone keep your wits about you. Slip and fall is what I'm really worried about. We're not going to have any trouble. There's no one is going to mess with us out there. We're so remote. But, that's the big worry, slip and fall. Because, we're on these slick rocks and I just don't want anybody to get hurt.
I just with that sentence, I just basically grip my chisel that I my pocket a little bit tighter.
Nice. Already you guys trust each other. This is perfect. Marian, when you see that he kind of steps towards Clarissa when he's talking about safety, let me have you give me a psychology roll as well.
Ooh.
To see if you think there's maybe something going on between those two. You haven't really seen them chatting or talking, but it's kind of a different. You can push that if you want. If you start thinking back, he hasn't really given her any interest, or even said 2 words to her this whole time. The whole day yesterday, he was off, kind of directing everybody, but now he's worried about her and.
Nope.
It's closer, but no. You don't know, but what would you think? Do you think that maybe there's some romantic interest between Robert Blaine and Clarissa, or did he just... Was it, chivalry? Is that why he stepped towards her? Are you at all upset he didn't step towards you? What's Marian's thinking?
I don't think she's upset that he didn't step toward her. Yeah, I mean, maybe... She could be a little, gossipy is not the right word, but I do think maybe she likes to kind of make up stories for people in her head.
Ooh.
So
So
that
what's
could be.
what have you made up? Like what have you already determined to be the facts between Robert Blaine and Clarissa?
The
I'm totally
facts.
not going to twist this against you, I promise.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I feel like there weren't that many facts until like that moment, probably. But now maybe she's like, ooh, like secret relationship, and like, is Clarissa here because he's like the leader and he wanted her to come along? Like, how does she do? And like, whatever her major is, all of that kind of like, unfortunately, mildly, mildly sexist thinking, but we're in the 30s.
This is the 30s, that was par for the course. You know that she's a chemistry major, and she's talked a little bit about the chemistry. In fact, she's the one that kind of approached you specifically about the Pasqualium. You're not exactly sure what Robert Blaine studies. He's never really said, and you didn't really know him. You do know that he's in the science department. He's not with the anthropology department. And within the science department, his main usefulness seemed to be just as teacher's pet. He just seemed to really get in good with certain teachers and just kind of want to, whatever they're doing, that's where his interest lied.
Interesting.
You do know.
So he doesn't seem to have much of a personality or direction, I guess.
Right. You know that he's involved with some of the sports teams at Miskatonic University, but he's apparently he's not doing any sports now. He hasn't talked about any sports at all. But you've heard, he's on the rowing team and the wrestling team. He's attractive, but one thing that you've noticed that he grinds his teeth a lot, and you can see the tension on the side of his face and in his jaws as he grinds his teeth, and maybe that starts to. It's one of those things that now that you're aware of it, you're going to notice it all the time. That, oh man, this guy's a grinder. In fact, you're probably at night, you're going to hear this sound and you're going to think it's him grinding his teeth, because there's just something about him as you've started to focus on him that maybe rubs you the wrong way. Whether it's something he has said, you don't even know maybe, or perhaps you do, I'll let you decide that. But something about Robert, you're already thinking like, something's not right here.
Interesting. Okay, so maybe with that, maybe she is still kind of thinking that like there could be something going on, but maybe she's like a little like worried for Clarissa instead of being judgmental about it.
Yeah. Now, as a young woman in the 1930, especially in academics, things were more challenging and still are. It's you probably are used to having to work harder and do more to get the same recognition that someone like Robert or Harry or Roderick or any of these fellows, Lewis or even Julian would do. You're probably, and whether that's true or not, that's been your experience, your thoughts. Like, I have to do twice as much to get the same amount of credit, and the thought that, or do you consider that maybe if there is something going on with Clarissa and Robert Blaine, that maybe she's found a way to get more extra credit or get more. Like, is she using her feminine wiles with him? You haven't noticed anything, but do you feel like am I now like at the bottom of the pile here? Like, am I gonna have to work even harder just to be a part of this?
Yeah, I feel like maybe there's that like bit of doubt.
Well, as you head into the truck to head to the site, it's driven by this local guy named Joe Harlow. He drove you yesterday. He drives you again. He knows some of the back roads, and especially the spots that are a little trickier to drive. So you head back to Rice Hill, was the name of the location where you'd gone, and it starts out being a lovely day. It's bright. There's it's a in fact, it would be the 18th. Let me adjust our date here. It'll be the 18th of August. It's kind of warm in the morning. You hope it's not hot like it has been. There wasn't much shade yesterday, but if you can get some respite, that would be a good thing. But at least it's not a terrible, a bad weather day. And here in New England, those are not few and far between. A storm can rise up at any time, but it looks like you've got a good day, at least a good morning to start. And as you head on, you're looking for that Pasqualium ore, and you go through various samples that were at the dig site that maybe you hadn't had a chance to look through. And while at first you and Clarissa are just cataloging some of the minerals that are found, let me have you make your arts and crafts, your metallurgy roll, just to see if you can make any headway, maybe identify that Pasqualium. Oh, very, very good. So you go through quite a few bits of stone, and a lot of it, it's here's some granite, here's some limestone, here's some other sedimentary rocks, here's this is quartzite, and it's dull work, but you're good at it, and especially while you've got something to kind of hunt for. And Clarissa approaches you, and she's got something wrapped up in a cloth, and she says, "Hey, Marian, what do you think this is?" And she hands you this sample, and you look at it, and it's, at first you're not sure. In fact, you get out your little hand lens, and you're looking up close, and you're scratching it, and maybe you have a little slate of corundum, and you're checking the hardness and things like that. It doesn't seem to be something too foreign. You suspect it's maybe some sort of metamorphic rock. Maybe was once granite and has since, through heat and time and pressure, has become something else. And Clarissa says, I don't think this is what we're looking for, but I've not seen anything else like this in here. It's definitely some sort of black, kind of lumpy rock, and it has aggregates. There's little pieces that are inside of it, small pieces of granite. And you spend most of the morning just taking apart this with Clarissa kind of working alongside you. And as you two are going through this, do you strike up any conversation with her unrelated to this sample, or do you stick to the work?
Yeah, I mean, she's probably nosy enough that she would at least try.
Yeah. And she probably breaks the ice and just says, "Hey, can I ask you a question? Robert."
Yeah.
He's do you think he's all right?
In what sense?
Well, I mean, like, woman to woman. Do you think he's boyfriend material?
Yeah. But are you thinking of him in that way?
Well, I wasn't, but he's just hovering around me this whole time. Like he won't get out of my sight. I'm afraid to go to the bathroom. This guy is just constantly here. And you look around and you see him standing about 20 feet away, and he's looking down at his feet, but you can tell he's kind of side-eyeing the two of you. And she's whispering so that he couldn't hear. She's like, have you ever had a stalker?
No, I can't say I have.
I haven't either, so I don't know if that's what this is, but this guy, I don't know. Something doesn't feel right. Something feels off.
Did you know him before this trip?
No, that's the thing, but he, yesterday he didn't hardly say 2 words to me, but all morning he's just been like right in my hip pocket. And I mean, he doesn't give off a terrible vibe, but he's not really my type, if you know what I mean. Um, I don't want to upset him because, well, he's got that knife, and we're out here in the woods. And you know what happened last year. I don't want to end up like them.
Yeah. Well, you know, hopefully that's not what happened, and that wouldn't happen on a university trip. But it is better to be safe than sorry.
Sure, sure. So I'm just being paranoid, right?
I mean, it is a little strange that he's been following you today. We'll keep an eye on it together.
Okay, thank you. And you can see she visibly relaxes. And you get back to working on this mineral, and you both conclude this is not Pasqualium. This is just some metamorphic rock. But it's interesting, but this is not what you're here to look for. But it takes most of your morning as you go through this analysis. Now, Julian, you are spending your time looking for more signs of, like the petroglyphs, the arrowheads, things of interest in that regard. And you probably struggle to find much that's new here. But then Harry, the young Irish fellow, he actually calls you over and says, "Julian, come take a look at this." And,
Oh yeah, what's over there?
give me an archaeology roll.
Okay. Cool. Oh, sorry. Archaeology. Yeah, they click on the wrong skill. There we go.
Oh, just barely got it. You have got it by 2. It's
Yep.
last time you found a little. It looks like maybe a ring made out of bone, larger than a finger ring, smaller than a bracelet. And he finds another one of these and says, "Look, this is the second one of these that we found. What do you think this is?" And
Oh,
you know it's not a finger ring or a bracelet, probably not any sort of jewelry. You're convinced of that because it's very plain, just a little bone ring, maybe a centimeter in thickness, and maybe 2.5 inches, about 5 centimeters in diameter. What do you think it might be?
it's probably like a ritual device, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you think that this could be. Well, this is definitely something that has been crafted. This is not a natural find. A piece of bone didn't just break off like this. In fact, you can see there's polished edges on it. So this has been handled by human hands. And if this is a ritual device, you recall from yesterday that during your digs when you found those arrowheads, they seemed to be in post holes where maybe there was some sort of structure. And you don't think this is a structural element, but probably some sort of ritual element or some sort of item that is used to maybe protect or offer a blessing, a religious item, some sort of token.
It's like a talisman, maybe.
Yeah. You think this could be a talisman? Give me an occult roll as you begin to kind of go through these ideas in your head. Yeah, you start to key in on that. You think this probably, and you could imagine at one point this may have had like a leather strap running through the ring, and you could wear it around your neck, or maybe it was, something you might place in a home or something. But you suspect, with the amount of care that's been put into crafting this, that this would have some sort of meaning. It's not just someone whittling away at a piece of bone. And as you,
I'll tell that to him, and I'll be like, "Hey, since you found so many of these, maybe you can, string them together and make something out of it."
Oh, and he said, "Oh, it's a great idea. If you find any more, let me know, and I'm gonna start cataloging these." And he's measuring them and writing down information in a book. And Julian, as you look over this latest one and maybe compare it to the first one, give me a spot hidden roll. That's terrible.
I'll definitely push that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're looking and you're like, you know what? I need a hand lens. And you go get your hand
I'm
lens.
focusing more. I'm focusing more.
Nice. And you get in, you're really looking close. There's carvings on one surface of one of these. The other one looks like it's completely worn away, but the one that was found today, you can see just faint indentations. At once they were probably deeper, but just through weathering have been worn off. But there's carvings, and they seem to be pictograms, very much like Egyptian hieroglyphs. And boy, the King Tut's tomb, when that thing was opened, that was all you could think about. Give me an Egyptian.
I try and read the
give me an Egyptian hieroglyphs roll.
Try to read this thing. Yeah.
Nailed it. There's only a few things that you can make out. You know that Egyptian hieroglyphs, there's pictures, but they represent vowel sounds and consonant sounds. So if there's a picture of a boat, sometimes that means a boat, but it also might mean a certain sound. And so you don't know, what this language is, but looking at these, it's definitely language. It's a word, a phrase, or maybe a story on here. And you point this out to Harry, and Harry's like, oh my gosh, I didn't even see that. And he starts to sketch this out.
Yeah, sketch it out.
Yeah.
Give us an image.
Let me drop the party real quick. I'm going to rejoin, see if it corrects my audio issues. Give me 1 second. And oh no, we lost Luke. His internet's being silly. Power went out. Hopefully we get him back soon. Give me 1 second. Alex, is that any better for you?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And thank you for letting me know. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me is through there. Hopefully we get Luke back soon. In fact, is he still listening on Discord? Oh, he's not. Let's see if I can get him on Discord. So Harry starts to catalog these finds, and you're actually thinking this could be, what makes this a success for me is, interpreting this. This is a dream come true for you to see this writing on this little bow.
Oh wow!
Ring.
Finding ancient Pandora.
Yeah, like
Pandora bracelets.
This is, yeah. It's like, this is fantastic. It probably just says made in China, but it's in some strange pictogram
from Temu.
Let's jump to group number 2. As you are going out and about, trying to gather up more information. Now we've got Arthur, Jebediah, and Jason Trent in one group, and then we've got Gerald, Terrence, and William Noakes in the second group. And since Luke has still not been able to rejoin us, let's go to Jebediah, Arthur, and Jason Trent. And so as you go about knocking doors, you get up to the first door, and sorry, you guys need to drive there. I forgot you guys are driving the car yourselves. So Arthur or Jebediah, which of you wants to make the drive auto roll?
Don't worry, Arthur. I can handle it. I've gotten quite used to these new automobiles.
These velocipedes. Give me a drive auto roll.
Oh, geez, Professor Baldwin.
Don't worry, Arthur. I just need to get the hang of it. It'll only take me a moment.
Yeah, you're stopping and starting and giving everybody whiplash as you finally, get the vehicle under control. And oh, there you go. And you adjust your mirrors and adjust the choke on the engine so it's running a little more smoothly. And then you get it up and running and head out into an area of the outskirts of Cobb's Corners that you had not yet attended. And the first...
see, Arthur, it's just like a horse.
Sure.
The first home that you arrive at is there's an older woman there, and she's out doing laundry. It's taking advantage of the nice sunny day. And she sees you in the yard, and she kind of looks at you and squints, and just kind of waits to see what you're doing there. She has no idea why you're here in town, and she doesn't say anything. She's just holding this sheet that's half folded, and she looks over at Jebediah, Arthur, and Jason. And which of you make the approach?
Arthur, dear boy, why don't you introduce us?
Oh, okay. And I'll kind of raise my hand in a greeting, and I'll say, "Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. We're here from the university, and we are asking people around town if they have any, stories about the area, or if they know any folklore."
Oh, well, of course. Is this for the paper?
Oh, not for the newspaper. No, it's just for our university research.
Oh, sure. I guess so. I don't know if I know any stories. Like what kind of stories?
Oh, well, any, I guess just strange occurrences in the town or anything like that.
Sure. At times, late at night, I seen weird lights, and I heard strange sounds coming from the hills. I believe there's a way into hell up there. I heard growling like a mad dog, bleating like a sheep, buzzing like mosquitoes. Hell, I even heard singing a few times, as if someone was at the devil's own church. Sometimes it looks like there's fires up there. Other times it looks like one of those new electric flashlights, but real big and changing colors.
As we're standing outside, what does the weather look like?
Give me a natural world roll. Just to see if you get anything additional here. You'll be able to tell what the weather looks like, but if you happen to nail... Oh, man, you missed it by 3. Pretty close. You look at the weather, and you can see a storm front off to the side, and it's coming.
I will spend
spend
3
the luck.
luck. Might as well to just pass that.
So you see a storm front, and it looks like rain. You're not a meteorologist, but if you were to place a bet, you think that within 2 hours there's going to be a downpour, and it's going to be bad. You see that these dark clouds, these are heavy with water. There's probably going to be lightning, probably going to be thunder. You probably have about 2 hours to get as much information as you can before you're just all soaking wet.
Well, ma'am, seems like there's an awful storm front approaching, a tempest of sorts. Perhaps you might invite us in, and you could share some of these stories with us. I could make it worth your while. I'm authorized to offer you some monetary offers for your stories.
Does that mean money?
Yes, it does.
Sure, yeah. Come on in. And she invites you into her home, and her home is very small. In fact, she doesn't have enough chairs to offer you. She has 3 chairs, and between the 3 of you and her, there's 4 people. So one of you will have to stand. Arthur, do you stand or do you take a chair?
Oh, I guess I could stand.
Jason Trent goes and slides into a chair, and he gives you a little sneer, Arthur, like, heh.
And I thought we
Trent,
were friends.
yeah, you get out of that chair. You let Arthur sit down. He's been doing more work than you.
Trent kind of lowers his gaze, and his eyes go narrow as he squints and looks at the professor. And you see a brief moment where this look of just disgust washes over his face. And he gets up out of the chair. Here you go, your majesty. And he steps away to give Arthur that chair.
Oh, no need to be like that, Jason. We're still friends, aren't we?
Yeah, sure, you and me. We're still friends.
Okay. Then I'll sit down.
And you can see Arthur, he's got his hands, he's kind of holding his hands, he's rubbing his hands together, and you see his knuckles are white, like he's really squeezing his hands together tight. She says, The old lady, she goes, sometimes, afore someone dies, I heard that a tree would start bleeding, and a crowd of whippoorwills would gather in its branches, starting up such a cry as to raise the dead. A lot of people think the whippoorwills are Sarah's shade, waiting to feed on the spirit of the dead before it flies up to heaven. Now there weren't no birds in my trees the day that my daughter Sally died. She just had that faraway look in her eye, and a strange smile on her lips. I asked her why she was carrying such a queer expression, and she said something about going home to her mama. But her mama's right here. We found my baby girl in the barn. She'd been running, fell on a pitchfork and bled to death without a sound, and no damn birds around nowheres. And you notice now there's a picture in her home. It's a small black and white framed picture. It's of her and her husband and this young girl, probably no more than 8 or 9 years old.
Well, this is very unfortunate. My condolences, ma'am.
Well, you should be offering them condolences to half the parents in town. Or haven't you heard we got problems here with the young'uns?
Please, tell us.
Well, you ask enough folk, you'll find out that kids don't live long here in Cobb's Corners. It weren't always such, but the last 10 years or so, why, there ain't many that get beyond their teenage years. We finds 'em dead, out in the barn, like my daughter, or out in a field. Never at home, never in their beds.
Well, do you think this has anything to do with those lights in the hills you had mentioned?
I suppose it could. I suppose it could be that doctor in town. Can't say as I trust him. If you ask me, them medicines he gives out, he's poisoning these kids. Otherwise, wouldn't he save some of them? Why do they all seem to die?
And what was this doctor's name?
Have you been in town? You've probably seen him in there.
We had a brief trip into town, though I don't recall seeing the doctor.
Well, you should go and make his acquaintance, if you know what I mean. He's a strange fellow. I'll give him that much. Dr. Perry. He's got a little 2-story home, works out of there. He moved here about a dozen years ago. Says he wanted to semi-retire to a quiet little town. But all I knows is kid's been dying. Around the same time he got here is when it all seemed to start.
Well, this is most unfortunate. Any questions that you have, Arthur?
No, I don't have any questions.
Jason Trent clears his throat. I have a question. Your daughter. You sure she died on a pitchfork and bled to death? Or is that just your story? And she gives him an angry look like, what are you insinuating, young man? Are you calling me a liar? He says, no, of course not, but I've just never heard of anyone falling on a pitchfork like that. Sure she weren't stabbed? And Jason has a look in his eye of almost excited delight as he's asking about these details of what happened to her. And she gets up out of her chair and says, I think the three of you need to leave now, or I'll call the sheriff out here, tell him that you've been stirring up trouble.
Yes, it's quite right, ma'am. I'm very sorry. Trent, you be quiet. You make your way to the door.
And Trent gets up and walks out. And Arthur, give me a spot hidden roll.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
terrible.
I'm gonna push that actually. Oh man.
So, you get up out of the way to let Trent get by, and you see him pull something out of his pocket, and he holds it up close to his chest as he leaves. You couldn't quite see what it was, but you did see he grabbed something. And he goes out the front door and just walks straight out to the car.
Okay, I'm gonna follow him.
As you go out, you can hear the professor apologizing to this woman for the intrusion and for Jason's behavior. And you catch up to Jason, and he's holding almost like a little bundle in his hands.
Oh geez, Jason, what was that back in there?
Sorry, I was just, it's kind of fascinating, how these locals, how do we know that she's not a killer? They blame it on this supposed ghost of the wife of the farmer whose house we're staying at, but what if she killed her daughter and blames it on the ghosts or on the doctor? We don't know, do we?
Well, we don't, but that's a very heavy accusation.
Well, I mean to find out. And he opens up his hands to show you what he's got. And in his hands, he's got a small little ceramic figure. And it's not more than 2 inches high, and it's of a little child. And it looks like it's been painted. And he says, I'm just borrowing this from them. I promise I'll give it back.
Did you steal that, Jason?
I didn't steal it. I borrowed it. I need something that belongs to them so I can find out,
Well, what are you gonna do with it?
Oh, it's all in my book. And he pats his back pocket, and you've seen him with this book before. And I think you even caught a glimpse of the title. It was The Witch Cult in Western Europe. And it's a fairly well-used book. You see there's little bits of paper, that he uses for bookmarks. You've seen him write in it, putting notes in it. Whatever that book is means a great deal to him.
Well, Jason, I don't want to see you stealing any more from these nice people. They let us into their homes and you accuse them of murdering their children. I don't want to hear any more of this.
Well, maybe I should go with the other group then. Or maybe you should mind your own business.
Listen, Jason, I liked you when we came up here and I thought you were my friend, but you've been acting really weird lately.
I've been acting weird. You're the one that wakes me up in the middle of the night and asks me where I'd been wandering off to. You're the one that gets up in the middle of the night and heads upstairs to go bother them girls. You're the one that's been looking over my shoulder, trying to discover my business. You got your eye on my book, don't you?
Jason, I told you I don't believe in that witchcraft stuff.
Whether you believe in it or not, that doesn't matter. And you see him relax a little bit, and he says, look, sorry, you and me, we got off on the wrong foot. Can we still be friends? And he holds out his hand to you to shake your hand.
Well, as long as you don't pull any more of this funny business, and I'll shake his hand.
Give me a psychology roll as you shake his hand.
Oh man.
Do you want to spend 5 luck or push that, or keep it as a fail?
I'll spend 5 luck.
As he pulls his hand away, there's something about you, Arthur. In fact, it's in your backstory. You have very clammy hands, sweaty hands.
Right.
And after he shakes your hand, you see him take out a small piece of glass, like a little piece of slate, a small glass square. And he actually scrapes his hand on it, and then slips it into his pocket. And he's trying to do this subtly, but you see it with that psychology roll. You know that he just took some of your sweat.
Well, that's not weird at all. I'm gonna go back and check on Professor Baldwin.
Professor Baldwin, you're just finishing up your apology to this woman, and she gives you another warning that if you guys are here to stir up trouble, she's going to let the sheriff know.
Well, I can assure you that we are not here to stir up trouble. Simply here to collect stories about the local folklore, but I assure you, ma'am, we won't trouble you any longer.
And as you head out, you get into the car. Do you have anything to say to Jason for his behavior?
I think I maybe eye him a little bit, but say nothing. I was also wondering, could I make a roll to see, do I notice if Arthur's on edge, or...
Oh, sure. That would be a psychology roll. See if he's sweating more than usual. Yeah, he's agitated. You can tell something has unnerved Arthur.
Arthur, you take good notes, I'm assured. What did you make of that last woman and her stories?
Oh, well, I think we definitely need to go see this doctor. He could maybe tell us something about what's going on.
Yes, I agree that would be a good lead for our investigations.
Now, Jebediah, you know you've got about 2 hours before that storm hits. Do you want to continue doing the folklore survey, or do you want to head back into town and speak with the doctor?
Arthur and Jason, what do you think? Should we continue collecting stories, or do you believe that we've got enough that we might investigate the leads that we have?
Well, I think we've gotten enough. We've gotten quite a lot of stories.
So do you guys want to drive back into Cobb's Corners?
Yes, I believe that is would be our next place to go. We could speak with this doctor.
Luke, are you back with us?
I am. Hello. I
Yay.
came back in when Jason started being a little weirdo. That was. I'm glad I came back in at that point.
It's like, I'm just going to hang up. Excellent. Well, welcome back. Let's go to your group. It's you and Terrence and William. And so you need to drive the car, unless you don't want to. One of the others will. But if you want to make a drive auto roll, you can.
We'll give it a go.
Oh, almost.
That's pretty close.
Yeah. Do you want to push that? Or I don't know if you want to spend 16 luck. I don't know if that's worth it for this roll. It's not like you're going to drive off the road or anything. You just...
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'd push it either. Gerald's not like a very reckless type. He's probably scared just driving. He's trying to pretend not to be, but...
Yeah, so maybe as you're driving, you're going a little more cautiously than would be expected. And William, he seems to be encouraging you, but Terrence just keeps pointing out all your flaws. Like, oh, you didn't take that corner quite as well as you should. Take the inside line. Like, oh, you brake awfully hard. Aren't you good at this? You could never drive one of the fancier cars. My goodness. And he's just constantly riding you as you're heading out to one of the homes. And you get to the house of a of an older couple, a man and a woman. They looked like they're both maybe in their 60s, and he looks maybe a little older than that. He probably is maybe 10 years older than his wife, but they're definitely gray-haired. He's balding. He's out tending to some plants in the yard, some flowers. He's out weeding a flower bed, and his wife is sitting on the front porch, and she's knitting as you pull up. And how do you approach them?
Well, mindful of, I think Terrence was a little ambitious, but, just like you'd hope for these kind. We're a little bit like this is like a farm place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little out there, so, you'd make sure they see you coming and wave, greetings, hello, with the Miskatonic University. Me and my fellows here have a few questions, if you'd be so kind.
Sure. What kind of questions you got? Says the old man as he gets up and wipes his hands on his pants.
Yeah, and learning the lessons from Terrence, I think up front, I'll give him a little money. I think we were given some for this purpose. Yes, we're doing something of a survey on the local folklore. Any stories you may have that seem out of place.
Oh, of course. Well, once when my grandpappy was a young'un, he was eating lunch by a big mound in the woods where he hunted. Well, out pops the devil, and he tries to bargain for my grandpappy's soul. Well, old pappy weren't having none of that, as he were a God-fearing man. The devil promised him women, gold, the office of mayor, and whatever else he was a-wantin'. But my grandpappy, he just started a-prayin'. All of a sudden, a ray of light comes out of the heavens and strikes the devil cold. That devil just started screamin' and hollerin' and disappeared. My grandpappy got on his knees and prayed thanks. Later in life, he married my grams, ran this here farm, and was elected mayor, with God's help, mind you. And his wife just shakes her head and says, no. Don't listen to him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. If you want a real story, I'll give you one from a local. See, my granny, she once told me that there's an Indian graveyard around here somewhere, out near them hills. And she kind of points towards Rice Hill, where the first group has gone. And that farmers who originally founded this town dug it up and found all kinds of gold and fancy things. She also told me that the gold was cursed, that the youth of our town was paying a blood debt for what was taken. Now, I don't know, but we do lose a lot of young folks to stupid accidents around these parts. If you ask me, that blood debt is still being paid.
Oh, very interesting, and I do believe that our archaeological group has maybe found something in that area, so, well, it sounds like your grandmother was quite correct.
You all found something from the Indian graveyard, you say?
Well, I couldn't tell you anything. I'm not part of their survey, but it sounds like they did find something yesterday, and I do believe they're out in that direction.
Oh, I thank you for stepping off my property now, sir. Please don't come back.
Oh,
Y'all would be wise to get as far away from your friends as possible.
You've done us a great kindness. I won't be a bother. Kind of raising his eyebrows, looking at the rest of the group.
She says, Henry, go get the salt. You salt that front walk where them boys stood just a moment ago. He says, yes, dear. And he goes into the house to get some salt. Terrence just shrugs his shoulders, says something about slack-jawed yokels as you pile back into the car. And William looks at you, Gerald, and says, what do you make of that?
Well, I think that old woman, of the salt and the superstition has to be taken with a grain of salt, but I think she's onto something. We have heard several tales of missing children mixed with what the first group found. Well, it's worth reporting. I've written it down anyhow, but it's hard to separate their fact from supernatural fiction.
Oh yeah, it's fascinating stuff here. My goodness. Do you suppose we should tell the others about what she said about this curse? Because you remember
Yes.
what happened last year, don't you?
Yes, well, and I've had some strange dreams since being here. Overall, I'm not saying I'm superstitious, but yes, I will definitely be giving them my report.
Well, let's go get one more house here. See what else we can get. And you pull up to another house, and this one has an old African American man, and you can see that he is clearly blind in one eye. It's milky white, but the other one he fixes you with a penetrating gaze as you get close to his little shack that lies about 100 yards off the main road along a dirt path. And as you get close, you can see that him through the window, and he's got something in his hands. It looks like maybe like a piece of pipe or something, and he's holding it in his hands as he's looking at you. And he goes to the door and opens it, and he's hiding whatever he's holding in his hand behind the door. And he says, "Who goes there?"
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. We're with Miskatonic University, sir. We had a question, if you'd ask, and we're happy to pay you for a drink for it.
"Oh, well, why didn't you say?" And you hear the clatter of a length of lead pipe hit the ground, and as he drops it, and he walks out. "You didn't tell me there'd be no drink. Come on, boys, come sit up here on the porch. Let us sit a spell and speak kindly to one another. Tell me, what kind of information do you need?"
Oh, good man. Thank you. Well, I find myself particularly interested in a dig we're doing somewhat nearby the other group's survey. Would you know anything about that? I heard from another lady some folk tale about an Indian burial site or some sort.
Oh, you want to hear about digging? Why, rats. Them things are everywhere in the woods. Big brown things leaping around the trees like they're monkeys. Ugliest rodents I ever did see, and no use for trapping, what with that foul fur and meat. Damned nuisances. I think they've been breeding in that McClearan farmhouse, and they fled that place when you folks arrived. You watch yourselves at night. Those vermin come back. They might eat you in your sleep. No, really, I mean it. Something else that you ought to know. There's something that lives in the nearby river, the Gizmond River. I don't pretend to know exactly what it is, mind you, but sometimes when it rains, you can catch a glimpse of it floating along, its spiny head just breaking the surface. I heard it might follow the river out of the mountains, but my guess is that it lives in the underground caves along the riverbed. If the sun's coming down just right, you can see them caves from the shoreline, black as a witch's heart.
Well, I for one have heard about rats in the area, so I think you're quite right about that. I appreciate the warning, and something in the river, that would be, sounds most fascinating. Thank you.
Yeah, you all be careful now. Now, it looks like a storm is coming, so you all best get yourselves indoors before long. These dirt roads here, they wash out rather quickly. During a summer storm, we ain't had much moisture. That rain falls, them roads be slick as ice. And you young'uns, I don't think you got the experience to be driving in these conditions, so you do take care, mind you.
Thank you, sir. We sure will, and I'll hand him a bill for his drink.
He takes it, he unfolds it and kind of crisps it out. "Oh, this'll do just fine. Thank you very much, lads, and you have yourselves a blessed day." And you can see now that the rain clouds are approaching, and you can hear the distant roar of thunder as the clouds are moving in towards the mountains. And Terrence says, "Well, I don't want to be caught out in the rain. No one's going to let us in their house if we're soaking wet. What do you think we should do?"
Well, definitely make for town, although I don't know where we'll be meeting the rest at.
Well, there's that diner. We could always go eat there. It's almost lunchtime.
Yeah, if I were looking for somebody, I'd start there.
Give me another drive auto check, Gerald, as you drive back into town.
Oh.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, taking Terrence's advice to heart, this time you're like a Formula One driver. You know, you got it up on two wheels, going around the turns, breakneck speed, double clutching. Just William just thinks this is the greatest thing. He keeps clapping you on the back. Go, Gerald, go! This is great. And he actually puts his head out the window and has the wind blowing through his hair and just having a great time as you manage to drive the car back into town at breakneck speed, as teenagers are apt to do. Let's quickly go back to the first group, Julian and Marian. You can see the clouds coming in as well, and when the downpour of rain starts, it becomes a problem. And Robert Blaine says, why don't you all stay in the truck? Stay there with Joe until I get back. I'm going to go to a nearby farm and use their telephone. I'm going to call the farmhouse we're staying at, see if the others have gone there too. I remember the weather was like this the last time I was here, but don't worry, the rain shouldn't last too long. Just wait it out in the truck, and things will be brighter when the sun comes out. Carry on without me if I'm not back by then. And then pulling his jacket up around his neck as fat raindrops begin to just come down in a deluge, he begins to trot off down the road as puddles begin to form. Clarissa looks at Marian and says, I'm kind of glad to be rid of him. Do you think he'll be all right, though?
Julian's gonna request to follow him. Well,
sure.
I'm just gonna, yeah, let's go with him.
So, as you head out and begin to follow, do you call out to him to let him know you're coming with him?
Actually, I'm gonna roll for stealth and see if I can just just hide.
Perfect.
And follow. Yeah.
You will need to get a hard success.
Oh.
Ooh, do you want to push that? You could spend luck. It'd be, 18 luck to make that a hard success? Oh, actually, sorry. Once you push it, you can't spend luck. I forgot. Never mind. So you wouldn't be able to be very stealthy, mostly because you're kind of clopping along in puddles, and if you want to stay up with him, it'll be making some noise, because he's not just walking, he's jogging and kind of going a little quickly in the rain. Do you want to still follow him?
Yeah, I'll follow him. I'll be like, I won't call out to him. Obviously, I'll just follow him and see if he notices me later on.
Perfect. You continue to follow for a while, and he jogs off of the road. There's a small bend in the road, and rather than follow the road, he actually heads into the brush. You see him kind of clearing some of the brush away with his hands as he dodges a few branches and just ducks right into the trees that line the side of the road. If you want to keep up with him now, you'll need to make a track roll.
Okay, a track roll. I'm good with that. Try. What is... Oh, there it is. Oh, yes.
Oh, look at that. Okay, you find his trail. It's a little tough to follow, mostly because of the rain. It's washing out a lot of his little boot prints, but every now and then you'll see prints in the mud of his boots. And he's got a bit of a lead on you, but you manage to you hear the movement. You manage to follow him for as long as you can. You reach a small spot where there's a bit of a path in this section of the woods, and give me a spot hidden roll.
No.
Do you push that?
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, it was an improvement. There's a lot of prints here in the mud, and it begins to become kind of hard to follow him. It looks like maybe some wildlife has gone through here. This looks like a game trail, so probably some of the local deer, or you see some large hoof prints, maybe even like a moose may have come through here. And as you're following his tracks and these moose tracks, they start to get a little mixed up, so you start to lose some time as you're trying to keep up with him. But with your hard success on your track roll, you do manage to follow those tracks. And there is a rumble of thunder. You see a flash of lightning here and there as the storm gets a little bit worse. And you come around a bend, and you're following these tracks. You've got your head down looking at the tracks, and you can see water has pooled in some of these tracks, and it's splashing as more raindrops hit it. And there's a flash of lightning, and you look up, and illuminated just up ahead of you, maybe 20 paces away, you see Robert Blaine standing there looking at you with his hands on his hips as the lightning flashes, and you look up and you see him, and he says, "I told you to stay in the truck." And
is he hunting moose? Like, what is he doing?
Let's pause right there and take our intermission, and let's take about an 8-minute break, and I'll see you guys in about 8 minutes.
Sense to me. I think that the DM might be out to get me. A hero in armor and truth. Bots tell my legacy. flame of my torch illuminates the enemy. I win in the battle, you win foes asunder. Deeper I venture, the deeper I wonder. The bodies pile up before me, the corpses I plunder. The deeper I venture, the deeper I wonder. Crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to a needle caper. And while in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice in my fate is unspoken. I drink my last potion. I charge through the open gate. The flame of the dragon tried to seal my awful fate. With a handful of dice, 5 times I rolled 20. The dragon goes down, the DM no bloody. I leave with the princess, a satchel chock full of gold. We head to the tavern, where my mighty tale unfolds. Crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to a needle caper. While in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice in my fate is unspoken. The king honored me with the mighty crossbow. It's blessed by the elves, he said. I thank him and I go. The life of a hero, struggling to stay alive. It's worth all the hardship though, 'cause now I'm a level 5. Level 5.
All right, I am back. Is everyone here? I see Alex unmuted, Luke unmuted.
I'm here.
Perfect. I
Yep, hello.
think we're all here. Alex, you're here, correct?
Yes,
Excellent.
I'm here.
I started the storm sound effect, so we'll have a little storm music going on in the background. Let's jump back where we left it. We've got Julian and Robert Blaine standing face to face in a storm in the woods. Robert says, "I told you to stay back at the truck."
I'm just gonna stare at him. I think this is not the way to the farmhouse.
I know a shortcut. If you make it back to the truck now, we'll speak no more of this. Otherwise, you're welcome to follow along, but I need you to swear secrecy.
Secrecy to go to the farmhouse? Didn't you tell us everyone already?
No, I have to make a stop along the way.
Okay. Well,
It's
let's
private.
see what the stop is.
All right, but
Why, do you need to go to the toilet along the way or something? What are you doing?
No. Look, last year was kind of rough for me, and I took up a bad habit to help me get through the loss of my friends, and I turned to alcohol. I know it's frowned upon. It's not a good thing. I don't need a lecture, but I have a little stash up here for when I need it, and I felt like I needed it. If you don't mind coming with me, you're more than welcome to come with. I'm just gonna grab some of my stash, and then I was gonna head back to the farmhouse, like I said. But if you
Sure, yeah, let's go to your stash. Let's
need
see
you
what
to-
you got.
I need you to promise me something, though. And this isn't just
Yeah, sure.
I swear I'll do it.
If this turns out to be alcohol, I'm all for keeping the secrecy.
Okay. Come on, let's go. And he takes you through the woods again, and you walk for about 15 minutes, and you're both just soaked to the core. It's pouring rain. Whatever jacket or hat you may have had, it's absolutely soaked through to your skin. And you reach a spot where there's a small mound of earth covered in grasses, and there's an area that looks like it's been dug up. The grass is removed in a patch, and you can see now it's just mud from where the rain has been pelting it. And he says, there's a piece of sod just off to the side. I cut it off that hill. I bury it in there. Here, I'll keep an eye out. I don't want that sheriff nosing around. If you want to go get it, I'll share some with you. Here, I'll show you where it is. And he walks over, and he points down at the ground, and you can see a little patch of sod that seems to be covering a small wooden box. I think we're clear. I don't see anyone. I don't want to run into a hunter or anyone that's going to get me in trouble.
Why don't you? I'll be the lookout for you. Why don't you open that box and see what kind of goods you have?
All right, fine. And he bends down and pulls the sod off the box and says, "See."
As he does that, I'm gonna rush at him and tackle him to the ground.
Ooh, okay. Perfect. I'm gonna drag the two of you out of that group. Just kind of put you facing off here, and I'm gonna put you into a combat. So let me drag the two of you into combat. This will track your initiative and whatnot. The combat icon is the two little crossed swords. So he has a... Actually, I don't know what the initiatives are. Let me roll for him, your initiative. So you both have 65. So you'll actually get the jump on him. Yours is 80, yours is higher.
Yeah.
So You've got the
Well,
jump.
he turned around, so I assume that.
So as you go to tackle him, that's going to be a fighting maneuver. So that's a fighting brawl roll.
Are you saying something? I can't really hear you.
Oh, could you hear me? So make a fighting brawl roll for me.
Fighting brawl. Okay. Combat. Fighting brawl. Oh.
You can spend luck on that. You can't push a fighting roll, but you can spend luck if you want, or I'll see what he rolls as he tries to fight back. If he fails as well, you guys just kind of fall in the mud and tussle each other a little bit.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
And he gets a hard success. Okay.
Oh,
So as you
damn you.
as you tackle him, you hit him hard and knock him to the side, and he slides in the mud. You're on top of him. Are you trying to, like, were you gonna like punch him and beat him, or just try and like knock him down, or what was your plan?
Knock him down. Knock him down. Yeah.
You got him down, but he manages to pull you to the side and roll over you. Marian knew that he was in sports, and that in fact he was on the wrestling team, but you may not have known this. But he easily just gets the top position on you, and as he gets on top of you, he pins down one of your arms, and you see his hand go for that knife. He's just kind of reaching back to where that knife is at. What do you do?
Son of a gun. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna try and grab that knife before he does, or at least, yeah, try to incapacitate him before he takes the knife.
Okay, so you're going for like the hand that's grabbing the knife?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make another fighting brawl roll. Oh boy. Okay. Let's see what he does.
I don't even think that's his point. He needs to do anything.
He might get a fail. You never know. Oh, there we go. Okay. So again, you're both tussling. You're reaching for the knife, and it kind of knocks his hand away from it, and he's grabbing your wrist, but he's sitting on top of you. He's got both of your wrists, and he's going to try to drive you down to the ground, to pin your hands down to the ground as he's on top of you. And you see a look in his eye of just violence, absolutely upset that you've done this. And he kind of spits as he talks, and he's very loud as he's shouting. It's like, "What are you doing? I thought you said you could be trusted. I don't know. You've been after this knife all day. It's my knife. You're not getting it. Do you understand? Now I'm going to get off of you, and you're going to walk back to the truck, and we're never going to talk about this again."
I'm definitely not trusting him behind me with a knife, so I'm gonna try and get the knife down. Yeah.
You still going for the knife?
Yeah, I'm still going for the knife.
Okay, do another fighting brawl roll.
Oh, what? I need to get.
You got to
the
get
knife.
one of these.
I know, right? Oh yeah.
There we go. All right. So he needs to get a hard or an extreme success in order to prevent you from succeeding. And he does not. He gets a regular success. So you get the knife. As you're wrestling and fighting, he's trying to pin your hands down. You get one free, and you reach up and you grab that knife, and you can slide it out of the sheath if you like. Let me Let me give you a knife. I'll put it on your character.
Oh, nice. I got the knife.
You have got the knife.
The knife.
The knife. I'm worried, but this is not like a normal knife now.
You're about to get like possessed.
I know, right? I'm like gonna turn into a werewolf or some stuff.
Perfect. You've got the knife now. What do you do with this knife?
I'm gonna point the knife at him and I go, okay, grab. You can grab your alcohol, whatever, and you can just actually, don't worry about that. Just we'll bag this alcohol thing later. You can just come back to the car with me. We'll just talk about it as a group on what the hell's going on with you.
He says, I'm not going back to the car. I need a drink. I need to check on the other group. I have responsibilities. You don't understand.
What do you mean? The other group's fine. Just come with me now, and we'll go. We can talk about this later.
Give me a roll. This is going to be one of your social interactions roll. Normally I would say persuade, but you have a knife. If you want to try to
intimidate, then?
Yes, you can intimidate.
Yeah.
And I'll give you a bonus die because you have a knife. So yeah, roll a. You don't need to push that. Go ahead and re-roll that with a bonus die.
Okay. Skill. How do I? So okay. When I press on skill, I guess.
Yeah, when it brings up that little second screen, there's a slider on the bottom.
Yeah.
Slide to the right for bonus die.
Yep. Oh, okay. Done.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
I can spin.
Yep. So this isn't a push. So you can push this, or you can spend 13 luck.
You know what? With the bonus die, I might as well try and just push it.
Okay.
If he doesn't listen, I guess I just have to do something else.
Right. That is a lot of luck. Oh, there we go. Oh, it was on double odds. Shoot. So
he's not listening.
Yeah, he says, I don't answer to you. I answer to the professor, not to you. Get back to the truck.
Okay.
And we won't talk about this again. You can put the knife.
Okay, I'll keep your knife. I'm gonna go to talk to the professor. If you don't come with me, I'm gonna go talk to the professor about this.
You go ahead and talk to him. We'll see if you get a passing grade on this field trip. That extra credit that you're here for, you can forget about that. That scholarship you have, you can forget about that too. That's right.
Wow.
I got connections.
Jeez.
I know, right? I'm like, well, hey, right now I'm the guy with a knife, so I'm not sure why you're trying to threaten me. And I just like do the stabby motion at him.
He's like, look, you might stab me once, but then I'll break your arm.
I'm not sure you appreciate the pain you're gonna feel if this thing goes into your body, man.
That's what the alcohol's for.
Okay. The alcohol. God. Okay. So I'm gonna. Well, since I'm not gonna convince him, I'm just gonna take the knife and slowly back away from him and trying to return to the
back towards the truck.
In this rain.
He calls out as you slip into the woods out of sight of him. He says, Mercer, this isn't the end of this.
Yeah, I'll just make a mental note of where this case is that he has.
Perfect.
Was stashed with alcohol. Yeah.
Perfect. And you head back to the truck?
Yeah, I head back to the truck.
Meanwhile, back at the truck, Marian, you're there with the other students. And the rain is getting worse. And it's been probably 45 minutes since Blaine and Julian left. And Blaine warned you about how slick things could be here on this hill. There's a lot of exposed granite. Mm-hmm. And you know that some students died here last year. You don't know if there was a storm, but if anyone's going to slip and fall, this seems like the conditions that would do it. And one of your friends, was it John Jeffrey? He was out here last year. He's never been seen from again. And what if this happens again?
Mm-hmm.
You begin to get a little bit concerned. What do you say to the others?
She's probably just like, well, looks like it's a good time to just pack it in. Let's just try to get somewhere safe until the storm is done.
Well, Joe, the driver says I can drive you back to the farmhouse if you like. I know these roads. I can get you there.
Yeah, we should do that.
And you look around at Clarissa, and she leans in and says, "Is it bad that for a moment I thought if something happened to Robert that'd be a good thing? Does that make me a bad person?"
I don't think so. We all have thoughts sometimes like that.
I didn't come here looking for trouble. I want to do my work. I want to find this Pasqualium, but I don't know. Why do people have to make it hard?
Everyone has their own agendas, and sometimes they get in the way of yours.
Give me a roll for this. You've succeeded, but I'm going to give you a chance to get a check mark on one of your skills. This can be either persuade, or you can do psychology. Either one of these, I'll let you make a roll on this.
Well, it's the same sad number in both. It's a 10 either way. Oh, no.
Ooh, I thought that was an odd one. That would have been great.
Right.
Do you want to push that?
Yeah, why not?
Might as well. I'm already going to let you succeed. I'm just giving you a chance to...
We're here.
Oh, no.
No, even
Terrible.
worse. Oh, my God. Okay.
So, yeah, she says thanks. Thanks for being by my side. And I don't know if I could talk to any of the other boys about this. They would just think I'm being silly, but I appreciate you. And she gives you a genuine smile. Joe is trying to start the truck, and it's not turning over. And
Oh, no.
Like, damn spark plugs again, faulty wiring, piece of crap Ford. And he's just going off, mumbling about the car. Anyone of you know about fixing an engine?
Perhaps.
This would be a mechanical repair roll if you want to take a look at it.
Okay. I think I actually put some points into that. I did.
Ooh,
Look at me.
Sweet.
Yes.
Oh, got it. Yeah,
We're fixing it.
you see that two of the leads from the distributor to the spark plugs have been pulled off. They're not attached to the spark plugs. You just got to push them back on. So you do that, and the truck starts up. But you know that that's not something that just randomly happens. They don't just fall off.
Okay, I was gonna ask, does it look like it was like someone did this purposefully, or
Yeah,
was this a normal?
you know that this would have to have been done by someone. Someone would have had to do this. So someone tried to disable this car.
Cool. Great. Awesome.
But you get it started again, and the truck begins to head down the slick dirt and gravel path from Rice Hill back towards the McLaren farmhouse.
Are we going the same way that Julian went? Or
Yeah, for a good portion of the way. And Julian, give me a luck roll to see if you reach that road before the truck drives by.
Damn, woman, you trying to leave me here with this crazy guy?
trying to keep as many people safe as I can.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
I know, right? It's crazy. I'm gonna be stuck in the woods in the rain with this crazy
Blaine,
motherfucker.
Now that he's been drinking.
Where is?
So,
I know, with the drinking as well.
so
This
luck
is the
should
shining
be-
all over again. I swear.
It's on the. It's by your below like your
Oh, yeah,
attributes
I
below
got it.
power. There's luck.
Yeah.
You've got a high luck, so
There
you
you go.
should get this. Oh yeah, you got it.
Hey.
So you, and if at any point, if any of you rolls a 0-1, a critical success on a luck roll, you will get a chance to regain luck right away. You'll gain like 1d10 points of luck just by if you get a critical success on luck. You have this brilliant stroke of luck that just bleeds into your next several actions. So it almost will never happen, but if it does, that's what we'll do. It's an optional rule. You can hear the rumble of the truck, and you rush out to the road, kind of looking back occasionally to see if you're being followed. And give me a spot hidden roll before you get up to where the road is. Julian, can you give me a spot hidden roll, please?
Oh, me? I'm getting a spot.
Yep, please.
Sure.
Okay.
Nope. Definitely pushing that.
Yeah,
It's pretty-
the rain's really coming down. You're watching your step. The last thing you want to do is slip and sprain an ankle, break
there
your
we
leg.
go. Perfect.
Oh,
4 off.
oh, you missed by 4.
Oh well, did what I can.
You get out to the road just as the truck is driving by, and you hear the squeal of brakes as Joe hits the brakes, and the truck begins to slide and skid partially to the right side. He gets control of the wheel and leans back and says, "Oh, you scared the life out of me. Come on, get in the truck. Quick, where you been?"
Well, I tell basically the story of what happened with the brother Blaine and me in the rain trying to track him down and stuff.
Joe is very quiet as you're explaining. Do you talk about the knife?
Oh yeah, I showed them the knife as well. I'm like, I got this from him, and he tried to stab me.
Yeah, Joe is very
And I
quiet.
do the stabby motion again.
And on the way back, he says, I reckon I have a story to tell y'all about the young here in Cobb's Corners. When your friend run off, and you run off after him, I was afraid we were going to have a search party to find what remained of you. The troubles that happened last year with you students, or the other students, I should say, well, it's been happening here for just over a decade. Young ones about your age, well, they go missing or they come up dead. No one knows what's causing it, what's happening, but I think you should count your lucky stars you got back here when you did, Julian. You all keep to one another, and you be careful. Keep an eye on Blaine. Make sure he's okay. What he done sounds out of character.
Okay, let's assume that Blaine makes it to the farmhouse and make his call while he's drunk.
You continue to head down this dirt road as the rain is pouring down. Let's go back to town really quickly. We've got both groups heading to town. So we've got the Professor, Arthur, and Jason Trent going to the doctor's office. Let's go there first. So as you get to Dr. Perry's home and office, it's a 2-story building. The top floor is his living quarters, and the main floor is his office. There's also a basement, which would act as the town morgue. When you walk inside, the walls are painted white, and there's a heavy medicinal smell that crinkles the nose as you enter. The good doctor is happy to speak with anyone educated. He seems overjoyed to be able to share ideas with someone with a college education. He says, most folks in this town, we ain't so lucky. Tell me, and he's mostly talking to Jebediah, tell me, how goes your search? I read in the paper you're here to get stories from the locals.
Well, yes. We have collected quite a few stories. In fact, I was hoping if you have a moment that we could speak to you about any peculiar stories you may have heard during your time in town.
I got a story for you, but I don't know what to make of it. I am an educated man, and I cannot come to terms with what I found outside of criminality. So please, bear with me as I tell this story. I moved to Cobb's Corners about 12 years ago so I could semi-retire in a quiet place. And not long after I got here, I was called to an unusual case. A group of men had been apprehended digging up the grave of a local woman, Sarah McLaren. Sheriff Spencer, he wanted me to see if the grave robbers had done any mischief to the body. Well, after removing the nails, I lifted the lid to Mrs. McLaren's coffin. To both my horror and that of the sheriff, inside the coffin we found the remains of a calf, its legs broken to allow it to fit inside the casket. The men who were presumed to be the grave robbers were let go with a stern warning not to say anything to anyone about what they'd seen that night. The grave was covered back over, but the coffin and its contents were cremated. I don't know what happened to Sarah McLaren, but her body was not in her grave. It is a fact that on occasion, some of the youth in this town pass away. I'd say the ages are between about 8 and 19 is when most of them seem to have passed. Their bodies are missing large quantities of blood. I became aware of this when in the course of examining the remains of some young folk, there wasn't much blood at the site or in their bodies as there should have been. I tested the blood from one of these accidents, only to discover it was pig's blood. Now, this might sound silly, but I recently went into New York to visit my brother, and he took me out to see one of them silent movies. There was a German one called Nosferatu. And this may sound strange coming from a learned man, but I can only conclude that there is a vampire of some sort in Cobb's Corners. Sarah McLaren, who is responsible for all the unexplained deaths of children over the last 12 years. I suspect it's been her. Oftentimes I'll tell sick folk here in town to eat garlic or wear their crucifix just as often as I am to prescribe a poultice or something else. It sounds silly when I say it out loud. And please, this is off the record. Do not mention anything of this in any of your writings. I would be ridiculed, sir.
Oh yes, well, I wouldn't think to mention your name, but of course this does help to illuminate some of our other stories, piece together certain facts, that is.
Yes. Give me a psychology roll, Jebediah. You suspect he's telling the truth. He believes this to be true.
Does what he said match up with any folklore that I've heard of before? Not specifically this region, but perhaps, I guess this region and others, just anything that I may have heard in the past.
Yeah, give me an occult roll.
Can I do anthropology?
Yes. Oh, wow. Extreme success. Yes, this matches up with what he said with some of the tales that one of the youngsters, or one of the youngsters, one of the students had mentioned. A few things. There was a story about perhaps something that shed light about maybe there was some sort of vampire. Someone said that Sarah McLaren is a blood-sucking fiend. In fact, and I've got this in the journals under local folklore. It said, Sarah McLaren is a blood-sucking fiend. I know this to be the truth, as on occasion I come up missing livestock. And I heard as a bunch of folks dug up her grave because they was tired of their kin and animals dying and all. Well, that woman weren't in her box where she belonged. We got no idea where she lays during the day. I wouldn't be surprised if it weren't her that killed those city kids on that mountain. And so this seems to tie up with what you just heard from the doctor.
Arthur, what do you make of this story?
Well, vampires is a little hard to believe.
You see Jason Trent grinning. He's not saying anything, he's just grinning.
Well, what do you think about this, Jason?
This is great.
What do you mean?
This is fascinating. This is... Yeah, I've been doing some research of my own, personal research. And this is glorious. Wonderful. And you see his hand reach for his book in his back pocket.
Could I also make a roll to just to determine what I would know generally about vampires?
Yep.
And just that sort of thing in general.
Yep, give me an occult roll for that. So you would know kind of what most people know, which would come from a mixture of Bram Stoker's Dracula, the film Nosferatu, as well as some folklore, that vampires are said to be undead, that they fear garlic and they fear Christian symbols, and that they can't abide sunlight or running water, or they have to be buried in the ground, that they can transform into bats or other creatures, bats or rats or what have you, that they can become insubstantial, like as mist, and that they offer no reflection in mirrors.
Well, while I think that the whole notion of a vampire is a bit far-fetched, it's a rather interesting concept. Yes, indeed. Arthur, do you have any more questions for the doctor? I believe his story will prove most helpful.
Well, I do have one question. Did you know Sarah McLaren when she was alive, or do you know anyone that did?
No, Sarah unfortunately passed right before I arrived in town. I'm afraid I do not know her, although her husband, well, he's the town drunk, and he spends his time over at the sheriff's office because he can't seem to abide living after the loss of his wife. He's a bitter man. I don't think he'll take kindly to you as you are all staying in his home. But if you want to see him, ask the sheriff. I'm sure he'll let you talk to Jimmy. Give me a psychology roll. Arthur?
Oh, man.
Close. You want to push that?
Yes, I will. Nope.
You get the sense that he is being very clear with his warning that Jimmy could be provoked to anger just by seeing you.
Okay, well, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Now, is there anything else I can do for you? And Arthur, give me a spot hidden roll, please. As he's speaking with you, your eyes are drawn to a microscope that he has on his desk. This is an expensive piece of equipment, but he's got this here, and you see he's got some little glass slides, much smaller than the little glass pane that Jason used to steal some of your hand sweat. But you can see there's little red dots, like a splotch on here. These are probably slides with blood on it.
Oh, well, doctor, would you mind if I took a look at your samples here?
Oh, a biologist. Yes, of course, of course. Tell me, what do you know of the blood?
Oh, well, I'm not a biologist. I don't know too much about blood, but after what you've told us here, I'm very interested to see this for myself.
Yes, of course. Come take a look. And give me a medicine roll. I know you probably got a 1% in this.
Yeah.
You look through the slides, and they all look very similar. Just it's kind of out of focus. As you twiddle with the focus, you get it in focus. You can see these little round. They look like donuts. And he says these are the red blood cells, and you may see some white blood cells. They'll look like little puddles, little squiggles, and you identify some of those. And he says, "Here, look at this one," and he slides another one there. And go ahead and push that medicine roll.
Oh.
And he says, now this one here, this is someone with sickle cell. So look at the shape of them donuts. They're kind of crescent shaped. So this is red blood cells that don't carry the oxygen like they should. And so there's so much we can learn about blood, and we can diagnose individuals based on this blood. It's incredible stuff here. And you see that he also has in his office, he has a small potted plant. And there's something about the pot that really catches your attention. It's not just a simple ceramic, glazed pot, but this is a black pot with almost a reddish, rust-colored ink, like an ancient Greek pot. It's got basically a nude man holding a javelin on there. And this is something that you wouldn't normally expect to see in a small town. Give me, you have a pottery arts and craft. Give me a roll on that.
Ooh,
Do you want to push that?
yes.
And by pushing it, that means you're going to go over and pick it up.
Okay.
There you go. You pick it up, and he says, did that catch your eye? That, I'm told, is original, but I don't know enough about pottery. I paid a pretty price for it. And you look at it, and this is a fake. I'll leave that up to you. You can tell him this is fake or not, but you can tell right away this is fake, because the coloration, the black and the red are correct, but the shade of red is not correct. And in fact, it's a little too much to the red. It should be more orange than this is. He says, yes, I picked that up before I moved here about 15 years ago, and, well, it seems to make the flowers grow just fine. And what do you think this is worth? Do you think I got a good deal? I paid $100 for that pot.
Well, it certainly is a very nice pot, and if you love it, then I'm sure it's worth something to you.
That doesn't give me encouragement. Oh dear. Give me a persuade roll, because you actually did very good to soften the blow there.
Oh boy.
So he says, that doesn't encourage me. Do you mean to say that this here is a fake?
Well, either way, it's a very fine piece of pottery.
Go ahead and push that again. And he says, well, I thank you then. I believe beauty is in the eye of the beholder, is it not?
Oh, yes.
And this is a beautiful piece. Now, if you don't mind, may I take that?
Oh, yes, of course.
And he sets it back on the counter and says, well, the storm is brewing. We've got to be careful in these parts. Sometimes the roads get washed out, and some of these bridges over the Gizmond River, well, they're not as safe as they once were. So be cautious, be careful if you're driving over any of them bridges in town.
And Doctor,
yes,
a question for you. How well kept is the historical record of the town in the library? Is it decent?
It's quite good. The librarian, she's very apt and very very good at what she does. You would be wise to go and make her acquaintance. Old Mabel Carruthers, she's been here for a long time, born and raised here in Cobb's Corners. She's a bit of an old maid, if you know what I mean. But it's for the good of the town. She ain't got mixed up in men and marriage and children. No, them books, they're just as precious to her as a child would be to you or I. But she will give you any assistance that you might need while you're in town.
Well, certainly, and as our investigations continue, if I need any more questions, I'm sure that I can call on you.
Of course, you have my full cooperation. Let's go to Gerald. You're with Terrence and William. Now, you were going to go to the diner and get something to eat, correct?
Yeah, wait out the storm, I think, was the idea. Terrence is a smart guy, clearly.
When you get to Jim's diner, there's a young woman that is eating there. She's having a sandwich, and she is what's her name? Holly Rydell, and a beautiful young woman. She has auburn shoulder-length hair and brown eyes, and she's wearing a flowery, frilly dress that goes down to her ankles. And she has a bundle of books and papers on the table with her. And she sees you all enter in and says, "Oh my, you're those college students, ain't you?"
Oh, yes. Well, hello. You look like you're studying something yourself.
Oh, I'm the school teacher here. We only have the one school. It's a one-room building is all, but, well, I do the best that I can. I do what I can to help these children. And then you see her kind of nod her head, and then she pauses and begins to shake her head as though she first agreed with what she said and then she disagrees. And she says, "Oh, I know there's a problem with the children. I try and give them the best start I can, but I lost one pupil last year and I've already lost two this year. The teacher I replaced, Mrs. Hunter, well, she fell down the stairs in the dead of night while carrying a large knife. I kind of wonder if I shouldn't leave town. But the children need me, and so I stay."
I've always admired teaching as a very noble profession. We're with Miskatonic. I'm sure you've heard. We've asked a lot of questions. It does sound like it's been pretty hard for the last decade or so.
Oh, it has. Why, you should see the horrid pictures that the children draw. The ghastly images. Children clustered together in these pictures, whispering and giggling. And then these kids, they play strange games at recess, and they're sinister. I found one of the boys in the process of cutting open a live cat behind the schoolhouse with the other children. His little group, they were spinning around him in a circle, singing some horrible-sounding song. When I confronted them, the boy cutting the cat threatened to kill me if I ever told anyone, and I believed him. Not 5 days later, that boy was killed when he fell out of his treehouse.
Well, certainly sounds like nothing I've ever heard. Well, it's incredible you've stayed, to be honest.
What? Look here. And she takes a piece of homework and turns it over. She says, look at this picture. Here on the homework, they turned this into me. And let me find the picture. There we go. Oh, let's see. I'll show that to you.
Well.
And what? Look here on the back. What? This is the sort of stuff they sing to one another. It says, "Mother loves me, this I know, for the others tell me so. They have watched us for so long. Where we are little, our brothers are strong. Yes, mother loves me, yes, mother loves me. Yes, mother loves me, for the others tell me so." There's something wrong with the children in this town.
Yes, it's like they're clearly, they have all the hallmarks of being children. The drawings are crude and the handwriting's not impressive, but it's.
Well, I don't grade them on their handwriting or their grammar. This was a mathematics paper, but look at what they write on here.
Well, yes, it's this is something supernatural. It's bizarre. They've got a child's mind, but I can't imagine where they would have learned anything like this.
Well, look at this black cloud. It's like the clouds outside right now.
But yet red as well. It's
Well,
grim.
if you ask me, that's probably blood.
Well, it does seem to be a flood of it in the crowd of dismembered human beings there.
It wouldn't surprise me none. But what am I to do?
Yes, it's quite a dilemma, ma'am. I'm not sure I'm fit to give you advice, but, well, it doesn't seem like these children have anybody for help. It almost seems like this is something that needs intervention here.
Give me a psychology roll.
Interesting. I think he's, rudimentarily talented at that.
Nice. Yeah, this is definitely not normal stuff. This sounds like children with mental illness. Based on the story that she tells you, this drawing, the verse, it's creepy. And you get the sense that there is definitely something going on with the children, and that perhaps all these stories that are beginning to come out, some of the folklore that you've heard, you begin to wonder exactly how much of it is actually true. A lot of it seems far-fetched, but it's hard to know. Give me an occult roll, please. This thing about mother on this saying, it's a little bit concerning. You know that there are a lot of things that are referenced as mother. This could be someone's mother. It could be referencing Mother Earth. But it talks about Our brothers are strong. They have watched us for so long. There's changes in the tense here. It says mother, but then they, or is that referencing the others? Something here is not adding up. And you suspect that this is not in reference to someone's biological mother. And Holly says, I've been thinking about taking a leave of absence. I don't think I can take these deaths. One child death in a career is more than I care to bear, let alone 3 already in 2 years.
Yes. No, that's... I mean, this is clearly not anything standard that anybody would have dealt with. That might be wise, and also maybe reporting to some kind of authorities outside of this town. This is clearly a large-scale disaster.
Give me a law roll.
Ooh.
Yeah, you think this, you don't know if you want to tell the local sheriff about this, but you think someone needs to find out about what's going on here. It seems as though if a lot of children are dying and they're still dying, that the local law is not doing a damn thing about it. You can push that if you like.
No, I don't think he'd push it. If anything, I think Joe's thinking, like, we're going to at least bring light to this, write about it. Is that homework? Are you keeping it? Is that something I could borrow? I think some people should see this.
I have no intention of keeping this, sir. Here, please, take it. And as you take it, you have a quick flash in your mind of that dream that you had just last night, of different vistas and views of loathsome fungoid growths, of that city of sky blue marble, bronze statues dressed in medieval garb. And something about this picture just seems to trigger that sudden memory of that. Give me a sanity roll, if you would.
That feels fair. That is weird as hell.
You're going to lose, let me roll it here, 1d2 points of sanity. 2 points, please. Oh, your sanity's low. Holy cow.
Yeah, high intelligence, low sanity. I thought that would be interesting.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Just happened to look at that. Yeah, the things that you have heard today and the thoughts of children going missing and seeing this picture and that dream you had, this is all starting to weigh heavily upon you. This was supposed to be a fun and easy field trip. Go out, hear some stories, write a paper, get a bunch of extra credit. But now it's like you've gone into some place, in the Twilight Zone. This is strange. Very peculiar events. And then someone bursts in to Jim's diner and says, come quick, we need help. Down at the bridge, or what's left of it. Let's jump to the other group. This is Marian, Julian, and the rest. You're in the truck, heading down the slick road. And you come across a bridge that goes over the Gismond River, and as you're going across the bridge, the surging river from the rainstorm sweeps part of the bridge away. The rear of the truck swings out, spinning the vehicle around as it plunges into the river, where it lodges in debris caught on a hidden sandbank. There are screams in the truck as you fall. And Marian, your backstory, what happened to your sister? I think it was your sister.
Yeah, it was my sister. She was on a bridge and it collapsed and she died.
Give me a sanity roll as you go through the same thing.
Yay!
Julian's gonna be like, I hope everyone can swim.
Oops, sorry, I clicked out of my character sheet. Like a fool. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
You don't lose any with that. But all of your thoughts go with your sister, and you wonder that feeling of your stomach flying up into your throat as you plummet. You wonder if that's what your sister felt before she died. And you almost half expect to die when you hit the bottom, but it's a shorter drop. And the truck hits a sandbank and gets lodged in the water. I have a map of this. Let's go to it. There we go.
Wow, I never thought we'll be the first to die, considering what's going on in the village.
Let me put you guys here on the truck. You're on the truck. The sheriff and the deputy are already here, and they're looking at each other like, "What do we do? What do we do?" And they're calling out, "Jump! You gotta jump! The truck ain't gonna stay there long." Now, if you want to jump, you could climb up on the hood and try to jump across. If you fail, you will slip into the water, and the water is rushing by.
Oh boy.
You can also go into the water and just try to swim.
What's the other classmates doing? What are they doing?
So the other ones in the truck, they are getting out, and they're making sure that... In fact, let me drag all them out here. Let's see. Give me 1 second. And I'll put them on here. Let's
Should have put more points and jump.
put Clarissa up
That's a
here.
lot of kids. All right.
All right, so the first one across is going to be Roderick. And Roderick he'll look across. He's like, "I can do this. I got this. I got this."
Yep.
Oh yeah, you totally got this.
Do this.
Yeah, he leaps over and kind of gets a bit of a running start, makes it to the bank, and the deputy pulls him up onto the shore. And Roderick's like, "Come on, you guys can do it." And you can feel the truck beginning to slide a little bit as the current's beginning to shift.
Julian's gonna rush them, like tell the other kids to go, and like he's gonna go. I'll stay behind to make sure everyone's across, like first.
Perfect. Marian, do you want to go next?
Sure. So climb first?
Jump.
Oh, jump? Oh,
Yep.
climb is so much better.
No, you got it. Oh, no. No, I thought you rolled it better.
You can push that if you want. As you begin to run out along the hood of the truck, your foot starts to slip. If you push it, you'll be...
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Oh, man, it looked so good.
Look better.
You make it as far as the water, and then the current begins to wash you downstream. I need a swim roll from you.
It's time to make a new character.
That's okay. I can jump in and help you, I guess.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so you are struggling to swim. You can push that. If you fail a push roll, you're going to take a little damage as you swallow some water.
Yeah, that's okay. She can take damage.
You can tank it.
Yeah, it's better than dying. Damn. The dice are not with me today.
You are.
Julian's gonna jump in the water seeing this and just like go and help her. I guess she's gonna take some damage while I'm helping her.
Let me give you some roll for damage here. So, Marian, you'll take 3 points of damage.
Ew.
I'll roll for swim.
Okay.
Come on, Julian.
Yeah.
Oh,
Doing
nice.
great.
Good roll. Okay, you get into the water and you manage to catch up with her. And you pull her up so that she's no
Okay.
longer sputtering and drowning. Now,
Can I do like a strength roll or something or dex roll to fight against the current to get to shore? Oh, not fight against the current. I guess I can make the shore go down towards the current and
Yeah.
follow the current towards the shore.
so that
Yeah.
would be a dex roll.
Oh, let's do that. Yeah.
Got it. So the current carries you down a ways, and there's a tree branch that the tree has cracked and has part of it's fallen into the water. You manage to hang on to that tree branch, and you're holding on while excuse me, while some of the townsfolk are rushing down to try and assist you. And you can see a few people have some rope, and they're going to toss the rope out to you. Meanwhile, Harry.
I need to make a.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, worry. Just go with the other characters first. I was thinking, do I need to make a climb roll or something? Pull myself.
Yeah.
But
So if you
Yeah.
want to start pulling yourself out, you can make that climb roll.
Okay. Yeah.
Should we each do a
I'll
climb
do
roll?
that.
Yes.
Okay. The time has
Yep.
come.
Ooh.
Terrible.
Oh, come on. It was 0-0.
You guys probably want to push that. If you both fail this pushed roll, the branch breaks and you continue down the river.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
there we go.
she's
That's-
gone.
Finally.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to push that. Looks like I'm going down the river instead. Later.
Oh, oh no.
oh.
Oh, no. I'm 9 off.
So
Am I
Julian,
able-
you're,
I'm like,
you're pausing to help her up, and you're boosting her up so she can climb out. And just as she gets out, she reaches out a hand for you, and you hear a crack as the branch breaks, and you drift back into the water.
No.
laters. Laters.
Meanwhile, two of the other students manage to get across, and now there's a few people that are trying to rig up a rope onto the truck so that they can pull it away with one of the other vehicles. The last one up is going to be Lewis Gibbons. And he comes up, and as he leaps across, he does not make it, and he begins to drift downriver as well. And so he is
Oh, no.
Good old Lewis.
streaming towards.
I have a friend.
And so
I have
we've
a friend
got
with me.
Marian, you're up here, and the two of you are now in the water. He's a little bit ahead of you, but you're both in the water.
Cool.
The other groups
Right,
are quickly.
Do I need to make?
Oh,
do
sorry.
I need?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do I need to make another swim check just to
Yes.
make sure?
Yep. Please give me a swim roll.
How do we get you out of there?
I'm not gonna get out. I'm gonna die here.
No, Julian.
Oh, that's gonna be hilarious.
Oh, that 26
Oh,
would have been close.
No.
You can push that. If you fail it, you're going to take a little damage.
Let's take some damage. Yeah, definitely not.
You're going to take 3 damage as well. So just reduce your hit points by that amount. Lewis is going to likewise try to get across, and he does not have a swim skill on him. I'm going to roll a dice for him. I'll give him a 25% chance. No. So he's going to push that.
Hey.
So Lewis manages to get out. He swims to the side,
Oh, nice.
gets out, and he's like, Julian, no! Someone throw him a rope! And you can see people rushing towards you, and the water is really, really starting to surge. Now, Clarissa, she runs over to Marian. She's helping you up, and she says, "What's that?" and points at something in the water. Marian, give me a spot hidden roll.
Oh,
What's
oh
what?
god. Oh, jeez.
Oh, come on.
Do you guys remember hearing a story
Nice.
about something in the river?
Oh,
Marian does not see anything. Marian's blind. Marian's
Marian,
born blind.
you don't see it, but Julian does. Julian, you don't even need to make a roll, but you
Oh
behold
yeah.
a rapidly deteriorating lump of something, a pinkish blob, from which sprout
great.
several growths, small, almost like earthworms. And there's a strange giant red claw, like a lobster claw, that's sticking just out of the churning water as this comes drifting past you. You can see pieces of that pink blob starting to break off and wash away, almost like if someone had thrown a large piece of bread or dough in the water, and it just begins to slowly disintegrate in the water as this thing comes past you.
Of course, someone would do that.
Yeah,
Yep.
give me a sanity roll, please.
Bro, I thought I'm in Vermont, not Innsmouth. What the hell is going on? Sanity roll. Okay. Julian has good sanity, actually. He's all right. He's okay. Let's see. Yep. Well,
Nice. You will lose 1 point of sanity
okay. Sanity.
as you see this. And then you hear a splash just behind you, and you whirl around, and you see, at first it looks like a snake is slowly moving towards you, but then you see it's a rope. And you can see someone on the shore holding onto this rope, saying, "Grab the rope, grab the rope." That's a dex roll to grab that rope.
Okay. That's a dex roll. Let's roll it.
Oh, nice. You get the rope, and they manage to drag you up. You are out of the water. They are slowly getting the truck moved up out of the water. In fact, I think I have a picture from the book of this. Let's see if I've got it.
So it was like a husk of meat or whatever it is.
Yeah,
I
almost
saw.
like
There was
a lump of meat. Like maybe if you'd cracked open like a lob, or maybe a crab or a lobster, because you did see like some huge claw, and it was just disintegrating.
As I grab the rope, can I make a grab check on that claw and see if I can grab it with me?
Yes.
Or is it too fast?
You can try. You would need to get an extreme success to get that claw, but that would be a dex roll.
Oh, dex roll? Okay. Let's do that. I'll try at least. Yeah,
Oh, you got it. Okay.
I got the damn claw.
You put your hand on this claw, and it's large. It's about the size of your own hand, as though if you had some sort of pinkish reddish claw, and it's got spikes on it, on the edges, probably for either display or defense for whatever creature this might be. And as you touch it, give me another sanity roll, as you realize that there is no creature that you know of that has something like this.
Come on. I must think there's some exotic creatures out there. Sanity. More sanity. Oh. Yeah, I think right.
Awesome. You're going to lose, let's see, 1d2.
No, 2 sanity.
2 sanity points. You will also, I'm going to make an edit on your character. Your Cthulhu Mythos skill is going to go up to 5.
Nice.
And
I'm learning.
You are learning.
I'm going insane by learning.
You have just discovered something that you will struggle to explain. So your Cthulhu Mythos skill will go up to 5, and I believe Marian, yours has done this as well for when you saw that little rat. So your skill goes up to 5, and then your maximum sanity will be reduced by 5 as you begin to uncover those horrible things that are out there. So the first time anyone encounters directly something from the mythos, you get this 5% boost. So the two of you have kind of a shared bond here. Julian, as you are brought up with this claw, there's a length of basically like carapace exoskeleton that's chitinous like a crab or a lobster, and it comes up with the claw. But then you feel something pulling, and you've got the claw in one hand and the rope in the other, and you can feel pulling from both directions. The rope is pulling you, but that claw is pulling as well. You're going to have to let go of one of them.
So I can't even do a strength check. I have to basically go.
If you want, I'll let you do a strength check. You're going to need an extreme success.
Hey, I've been doing great, so why not? Why not?
You've rolled 3 extremes in a row.
Come on.
You can push that.
Yeah, I'm nearly there. Nearly there. Come on, Julian, you can do this. Julian, you got the strength.
Come on.
Oh.
No!
Shoot. That was close.
I know, it's like going 10 and then 90, damn it.
You feel something pop, and the claw actually breaks off of whatever the arm that it was on. Yeah. You've still got the claw in hand, but there's no arm. Whatever else there was is gone.
Oh, damn it.
But you still have this claw.
Okay.
And they drag you to the shore, and you're holding this claw in your hand. And the townsperson that pulled you up looks at that and says, No. No. Throw that back in the river, son.
Do we have a bio team or whatever? Like, do we have a science team?
Not a biology team. We are all either geologists, metallurgists, or anthropologists, or archaeologists.
Yeah, useless. Does anybody want this thing?
The townspeople all back away and say, No.
Okay. Well, I did spend an extreme success to get this thing, so I don't want to let go of it. I'll put it in a backpack, and I'll keep it.
Nice.
I'm like, don't worry, I'll take it as a trophy.
Awesome. The sheriff is there, and he says, Hey, glad you guys made it out okay. We're going to get that truck out. I'll give you a ride back to your house. I suggest you guys get dried off, get warmed up, get some rest. The storm should be over by tomorrow. You can get back to work then. I need to question Joe a little bit, but he'll see you tomorrow. Do any of you need medical assistance? I can get the doctor if you need him.
Yeah, that would be great.
Me and you both took some damage, so yeah, I guess so. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, well, you two stay here. The rest of you head back to the farmhouse. The doctor should be on his way. In fact, when the doctor shows up, he actually comes with Jebediah and Arthur and Jason, and the other group, Gerald and the others, they come separately, but you all arrive here about the same time as once everyone has been pulled free, and they're just kind of asking questions, and you see the other students pile into the deputy's car, and he tells you, I'm driving them back to the house. You guys should come back soon. They might need you. They've had a bit of a harrowing experience. And the doctor looks over Julian and Marian, and I might have the doctor, let me see if I've got him in here. I'll have him make a roll here. Yep. Oh, wow, nice. Okay. An extreme success. So what he does, he looks you over and makes sure that you have no broken bones. He's like, you've inhaled a little bit of water, you've had a pretty good scare, you're going to be okay. We want to be sure that you don't get pneumonia. That can happen in this cold weather. Here's what I recommend, and he says, hot tea, get dried off, warm up your body, have something with some garlic tonight, and if you've got any religious symbols like a a rosary or a crucifix or something, just wear it on your body. It's got to do some good. Put that on you tonight. You'll be just fine. Come see me in the morning if you have any difficulty breathing. Now, Jebediah, you get here, and part of your charge is to make sure that everyone is safe. And it looks like everyone is safe, but this kind of pushes the limits of what you had hoped to see on an expedition like this. What's Jebediah's response or his reaction?
Well, Jebediah himself is no stranger to a bit of danger on an expedition here and there. It builds character, I say.
And Arthur, what do you think about all this?
Well, I think if I get the chance, I would obviously ask if everyone's okay.
And everyone does seem to be okay, although Jason whispers, "I'm not okay.
Oh.
I'm not okay."
What do you mean? Why
While you guys are doing that, I'm gonna show like the whole group my crew core, and then I'll specifically tell like Jebediah, because he's a professor. I'll be like, "Hey, look what I found! Like, back in the water. Like, put it up close to him."
Jebediah, as you look over this claw, you probably have no idea what to make of this. You can give me an anthropology roll.
Yes, it appears to be some sort of large lobster.
Weirdest lobster ever.
He does have no idea.
Yeah,
He's totally
looks like
clueless.
some sort of Maine lobster. It's got to be probably over 100 years old, you would think. But this is a freshwater river, and you've never heard of freshwater lobster in these parts.
I guess we're having lobster core tonight. As I flash this thing around.
And Roderick Block, he's oh yeah, with drawn butter, right? And the doctor says, as long as you put some garlic in that butter, you'll be just fine.
Yeah. If you want something sweet, maybe we could add some honey sauce. I don't know.
As you head back to the farmhouse, you are no doubt cold, wet, and weary. You want to get some dry clothes and a hot meal. You're relieved to have survived your ordeal. Blaine, however, is grumpy. He's pouting the whole rest of the night. When he sees you all arrive, he keeps giving Julian dirty looks. And he's unpleasant to be around. And
I'm just gonna, as soon as I see him do that, I just do the stabbing motion again.
Give me an intimidate roll.
Oh, this is hilarious.
Is he being
Okay.
weird with Carissa at all?
Yes. In fact, he comes over and he doesn't put his arm around her, but he has a lot of questions. He basically doesn't really care. I can see everyone else is fine. Clarissa, tell me you're okay. Did anything happen? Or did you twist your ankle? You didn't happen to breathe in any of that water? Are your lungs okay? Did the doctor check you out? Do I need to go see the doctor? I want to make sure that you're okay. You need to be okay.
Marian's gonna kind of put herself between them and just cross her arms.
He says, look, I see you're fine. You're on your feet. That's good. I'm glad. But, that must have been so scary for you. And he pushes you to the side and looks at Clarissa.
I'm going to, because I had success in my
you did.
intimidate. I'm going to go and I just go between them and then
he backs up. Yeah, he backs up and he says, hey, I gotta go get something. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be back. And he goes outside, and you hear him skulking towards the outhouse. You can hear him kind of talking to himself loudly, I'm going to get that guy. Can't believe it. Oh. And he just storms off towards the outhouse. Now, as soon as he's
Can I do
go
ahead. Yeah, can I do a spot hidden on Jason? Because he's Does he seem weird when I pull out the claw and flashing around him?
Ooh, yeah, give me a spot hidden roll. Jason always seems weird.
Jason.
Got to lock the farmhouse door so he can't come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he sees that claw. He really doesn't have much interest in it. He's like, oh, yeah, lobster. It's great. Are we gonna cook it?
No.
Wow.
Why would we do that?
Well,
I'll cook it. Do you want to eat it?
yeah. I'll have some. That looks great.
Yeah, okay.
But Harry,
Okay, Jason.
Harry, the Irish kid, he says, hey, guys, look, I know Blaine's supposed to be the chief, but he left us out in a proverbial monsoon. Before he left, he said to wait for him, as he'd be right back. Now we find out that he come down here to the house and had no intention of coming back for us. He's been all dry here. Well, we're soaking wet. Was that idiot?
I tell him the story. I tell him the story about how he's has a drinking condition. He needs to go out and have a drink or whatever, out in the woods by himself.
And he says, I bet that's what he's doing right now. I got him figured. He's a jinx. I mean, look at the university's last foray out here. 1 person dead and 2 still missing. One of them, I hear, was his girlfriend. That Daphne girl.
Oh.
Apparently
Wow.
he was laid up with a broken arm. Couldn't go with them that day. Pretty lucky on his part, eh? Anyway, I'm not saying we go home. This is a great opportunity to get into the good graces of our teachers, but I guess what I'm saying is be careful around that guy. In fact, be careful when he's not around, too. I got a bad feeling about him.
I'll take out the knife. I'm like, don't worry, I got his knife. And then I'll do that right in front of Jason as well. Make sure he knows that I have a knife.
Jason takes a step back and he looks at that knife. And you can see the light of the oil lamps in the house reflecting off of his glasses as his eyes look from the knife to your face and back to the knife, and then he looks over at Arthur and he looks back at you and smiles.
Oh, no.
He has a hard on for Arthur, eh? Okay.
He absolutely has plans for Arthur.
Oh,
Now,
I wouldn't doubt it. Wouldn't doubt it with his expression.
Harry says, hey, I bet Blaine's out drinking right now. Says he's got to go out to the outhouse. No, he said he had to go get something. He's out there right now.
I'll go out to check.
When you go out by the outhouse, you find his normal-sized shoe prints. They don't lead to the outhouse. They lead to a spot just inside the tree line. Let's go back to the McLaren house. So his tracks lead over to here. And they're joined by another set of kind of odd looking, I guess you could call them tracks, marks, prints maybe in the mud. Let me post a picture.
Wow.
Oh.
What the-
those are
okay.
big.
They're large. It's almost like if it were like a cloven hoof, like a deer or a moose, but man-sized. And
Is it a similar track that I've been following Blaine when I was following Blaine? I saw some moose tracks like that.
yes, this looks very
It is.
similar. And the rain is coming down hard, and it is washing these prints away before your very eyes. And then you see Blaine walking out of the woods. And he says, hey, what, a guy can't come take a shit in peace?
No, I was just doing your job now that I have your knife to provide security. You know,
Yeah.
what you said.
Security. Look, I was getting this. And he pulls out a little muddy bottle of whiskey. He says, I needed it. I figured maybe the rest of you would need it too. But apparently you're all just fine. I'll just keep this to myself.
You can keep this to yourself. I'll provide the security. Make sure that when you get drunk, you don't die.
He goes back into the house and says, look, guys, I got a little something to help warm you up. Sorry about today. glad everyone's okay. And he passes around the whiskey to anyone who takes it. And do any of you partake in his whiskey?
No, but I'm gonna go and talk to Arthur and tell him that Jason is acting very weird and seems to be very focused on Arthur.
Yes, he's been acting very weird. He has this book that he's shown me a few times, and well, earlier today he took something from one of the townspeople's houses, and I think he plans on doing some kind of ritual with it.
Oh well, it doesn't involve blood, does he? I hope he doesn't have any of our blood.
Oh, I would hope not. Yes, but I think we need to keep an eye on him.
Yeah. Cool.
At the mention of blood, Arthur, you now piece together why that pottery, why the paint was off. That paint that should have been orange was a little too red. You think it might have been blood.
Oof.
And as you make that realization, you feel a little tap on your shoulder. And you turn around and there's Jason.
Of course it is.
Says, you want to eat some of that lobster? It's ready.
Ugh.
Oh, not after they pulled it out of that river.
What? It's been cooked. It's clean. Safe.
Well, you go right ahead, but I think I'll pass.
Oh, I will. I've been looking forward to this all night. And he goes, and a few of the other students come over, and he cracks the claw open, and they're passing around little bites of it. And they chew for a minute. Do any of you partake in the little lobster claw?
Absolutely not.
Well, since Julian did get the prize, Julian's gonna go and take the biggest piece and just shove it in his mouth. And he'll be like, yeah, that's the spot.
It's very buttery, and it's that garlic butter, a little bit of honey on there. It's really tasty. But then it starts to dissolve in your mouth, almost turning into like powder in your mouth, and it's gritty. Maybe you got a little shell in there. You swallow it down, and the aftertaste is just awful. It's almost
Can I use my newly founded Cthulhu Mythos skill on it and see what I do?
Please roll.
Yeah, let's do that.
Roll with that 5.
You roll that 5 exactly.
Whatever that was, it was not lobster.
Okay. Whatever it was. But do I look it around? I want to see who eats it the most enthusiastically. Is it Jason?
It's Jason.
Does he love that?
Yep, it's Jason.
Of course.
And he just gobbles it
Jason's
up. And
the
everyone
one.
else that's eating it, they kind of get that little, like, it's good, and then it's kind of a little bit of a, ugh. Like, something's off with that. And a few of the people actually spit it out. Jason says, oh, that was delicious. That was great. Arthur, come try some.
Oh, I don't want any lobster.
Are you
Jason.
sure?
I'm so sure.
You never know when it's going to be your last chance to eat lobster.
Oh.
Oh,
I just go over to Jason. I go over to Jason. I sort of give him a side hug, and I'm like, "Don't worry, I ate plenty for Arthur." And I open my mouth to just show him that I just ate.
And he actually puts his fingers in your mouth to kind of open it up, and he's like kind of poking around your teeth and says, "Oh yeah, yes you did."
Oh, when he does that, I push him away. I'm like, "Hey, don't do that. That's not cool."
He's like, "Sorry," and you notice that he's holding one of the hands that has your saliva on it. He's holding it kind of protectively.
I'll definitely grab his arm and be like, "Hey, that looks a bit dirty," and I clean it up with my shirt or whatever, like a cloth that on me.
He frowns and he looks up at you with a frown on his face, almost of disappointment. And he says, "Oh, I could have done that myself. I don't need tending to. I'm not a little baby."
Could have fooled us.
And then I look at him. I would do another intimidation roll, and then like, I'll be watching you. And I
sweet.
say that with some
Give me that roll.
some intimidation. I really wish I could upgrade this roll at the end of the station. So I can... Damn. All right. Oh no, not gonna work. Not today.
It's still, for him, it's still intimidating, and he takes a few steps back and he looks at Arthur and says, "Come on, Arthur. It's almost bedtime.
Wow. Okay.
We've got a long day ahead of us. We should all get some rest."
Oh, I agree. Rest is very important.
Aren't you tired? I'm really tired.
Oh, I think I'm gonna wait a little bit until, everyone's going to sleep.
Well,
Arthur was gonna talk to us about this cool rock we found.
Oh, yes.
Jason yawns. Oh, minerals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bed. Good night, all. I'll see you all in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And he heads off and crawls into his little cot and says, "Keep it down. Some of us are trying to dream."
Yes, Mother.
Some of the other students follow his lead and head off to bed as fatigue really begins to set in after the long day. But you guys have a few moments if there's anything you want to do before you drift off to bed.
I think Marian is gonna.
What's
Yeah,
Marian
study
doing?
that. Gonna study that rock, right? You know.
Oh yeah. So as
Study the rock.
as you pass around the rock, you all kind of take a look at it, and it's something metamorphic, but you all kind of come to the same conclusion that it's likely something that could be found in this area. It may be rare, but it definitely looks like it could be from here, or perhaps where it was found near some Native American ruins. Maybe this rock was from elsewhere and was brought here. It wasn't a piece of a larger rock. It was almost just like a cobble that was found on the ground. And so maybe this was brought from elsewhere. And so you think, maybe we can look for more rocks like this, and then we would know if it's from here, or perhaps it's not. But either way, you're convinced it's not Pasqualium.
Julian's gonna try again using his newfound knowledge of Cthulhu.
Nice.
And see if he gets it.
Nice.
He's gonna try really hard.
Oh, almost.
Close.
Almost.
Very close.
How much luck do I need? I guess. Oh, can I use luck on this? Or
You
no?
can.
Yeah. What? How much luck do I need to know? Like, do I just spend the 16 to find out?
16 would pass. If you want to know everything you could possibly know right now, you'd want to spend 20 luck, but that's a lot.
That's a lot of luck.
16 would give you a pass.
16 and 20 is not much difference. So
yeah,
I might as well go
with Cthulhu Mythos is you will not improve that at the end of the session. Getting a success on there, it doesn't improve through the normal way that you improve skills.
Yeah.
But
I
if
need
you
to
want
go to sanity checks.
Yeah. There's potentially something you could learn from here. A passing roll would probably do it. If you want to spend the 16 luck to pass.
How much more information will I get if I just go for the extreme, like the 20 luck? You think? Would I
Honestly, not a lot more. There is something.
Well, yeah, I'll
you
spend the
could
16.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Someone says, you know what? I don't think this is from here. And as you look at it, you recall hearing a story, and maybe it was in a book you read at the Miskatonic Library, but there have been various rocks that have been found throughout history that nowadays they think are meteors from, not from Earth, but that have landed here on Earth. And this does not look exactly like those, but this could well be a foreign rock. And the more you look at this, and as you think about it, you begin to get an image in your mind of this rock came from a frozen place, ice, darkness, a place very foreign and strange. This rock does not belong here on Earth.
I share that knowledge with everyone else. I'm like, yep, I read it in a book. This thing is for a frozen place.
And Julian, give me a sanity roll as you make that conclusion.
Of course. Let's figure this thing. It's all right.
Got it. Nice. And you don't lose any sanity. But you are convinced this rock is from elsewhere.
We've got meteorites.
Arthur,
What a fun place this village is turning out. It's got aliens and vampires. And,
got a little bit of
and crab
everything.
monsters.
And witches and Arthur,
Yeah.
you've mentioned some discontent with Jason. He's
Right.
done a few things that seem to have upset you. He seems to be asleep. Do you want to take this opportunity to do anything, or do you want to wait?
Well, I think if he's really like deep sleep, he looks like he's not going to wake up anytime soon. I want to take this opportunity to try to get his book.
Give me a listen roll as you listen to his breathing to see if it sounds like he's asleep or he's just got his eyes closed pretending to sleep. You know that there's a different breathing cycle.
Oh.
You got it. Yeah, in fact, there's faint snores, and as you look at the rise and fall of his chest, you kind of estimate how many respirations he's taking, and you think, yeah, I think he's asleep.
Okay, so, do I know where he keeps it? Like with him or in a pack or something?
You've seen it. It's never far from him. Give me a spot hidden roll.
Oh man.
You look around his bed. He has like a little tiny nightstand. It's just like a milk crate that's been turned up. It's not there. It's not near his pack. If you want to push that.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, you don't see it at all. It's nowhere in plain sight.
Um,
I'm gonna ask Julie. I'm gonna ask. Oh, Julian's gonna go over to Arthur and like, what are you doing down there? Because I'm finding it curious that he's moving around, trying to look for some stuff around Jason.
well, I'm looking for that book I told you about. He always has it with him, and I'm very suspicious about its contents.
Okay, I'll assist in you looking for it. I guess I'll do a spot hidden.
Yeah, give me a spot hidden.
Oh yeah.
You see just the bare corner of the book peeking out from beneath the pillow. It is under his head, under the pillow. Arthur, you could slide a hand under that pillow. Be a sleight of hand roll to try and pull that book out without waking him.
Okay. Oh man. I'm gonna push that.
If you fail this, he wakes up.
Oh my god.
He's fully awake.
Yeah, you slide your hand under the pillow, and are you standing like facing him, or are you behind him?
I'm gonna say I'm behind him.
Okay, you put your hand under there, and suddenly his hand reaches up under and grabs your wrist. And he turns around and he hisses at you.
Oh.
What are you doing? That's mine. Don't touch my book.
I'm sorry, Jason. I was just curious. After all you've told me about this book.
Just ask me. I'll let you see it. But don't take it from me.
Well, I was just borrowing it. Like you said, you were just borrowing that little statue you took. I was gonna put it back.
Do you want to read it tonight?
Well, that's what I was going to do, yes.
That would be fine. Here. Let me give it to you. And I'm going to put it on your character sheet. So now that should show up in your gear and cache under books. You should see the witch cult in Western Europe.
Yes.
Now there is if you open it, is it double click? Yep, double click on it. You can see just kind of a description. It's a dog-eared and annotated book about witchcraft belonging to Jason Trent. His name is noted inside the front cover. He says, just give it back to me and do take care. It's got my personal notes in there.
Oh, I promise I will.
Now, if you want to click on the initial reading button, you can make an initial read tonight. Do you want to push that? Some of the language in, or you can spend 4 luck to pass, but you have like a really high chance.
So I should push it?
I would probably push it, because what's your English skill?
English.
Your language.
Yeah, it's an 80.
An 80, yeah. So, and you got an 84. So
Okay.
I would probably push it rather than spend luck. There you go.
Sanity check.
Yep, you make a sanity check, and you will,
Whoa, you're exposed
to a
trauma.
traumatic event, you will lose 1 point of sanity. I'm going to take that off there.
Okay.
You gain 1 point of Cthulhu Mythos, and you gain 5 points in occult as you read this. Now, this book, the things that you read are frightening. In this book, the author, Margaret Murray, explains a theory that until the 17th century there was a religion much older than Christianity, which all over Western Europe had supporters both among ordinary people and the ruling classes. Central to the worship stood a horned god with 2 faces, known to the Romans as Janus or Dianus. The horned god represented the cycle of seasons and harvests. It was believed that he died and periodically returned to life. On Earth, the horned god was represented by chosen human beings. There were some celebrities among them, such as William Rufus, Thomas Becket, Joan of Arc, and Gilderay. They each died a tragic death as a ritual sacrifice to ensure the resurrection of the god and the renewal of the earth. In the villages, the witches' meetings were presided over by the horned god. Christian observers of these events might have thought the witches were worshipping the devil, when in reality they were celebrating the pre-Christian god Dianus. The preservation of this ancient religion was entrusted to a variety of indigenous peoples, small in stature, who were driven out from their land with each new invasion. This would also explain the stories about fairies, gnomes, and other small people. These creatures were very shy, but were able to pass the knowledge of their religion to ordinary people. The witches were their pupils, and thus the heirs of the ancient religion. According to Murray, local covens consisted of 13 members, 12 ordinary men and women, and an officer. All members were required to hold a weekly meeting named Esbot by Murray and to attend the larger sabbats. There was a strict discipline in the covens, and whoever missed a meeting could be severely punished and was sometimes put to death. The organization and structure were so good that Christianity had to wait until the Reformation before taking wide notice of the hidden religion. The great witch persecutions were thus Christianity's attack on a powerful rival. Now, inside, the reason you lose sanity is in handwritten notes. Jason Trent has written about something called the Shroud of Shadows.
Ooh.
And it sounds like some sort of ritual that could be performed that causes a dense shadow to appear in a roughly circular volume, 10 feet in diameter, directly in front of you. This obscures vision before disappearing without a trace, as a means to perhaps make someone hide. Give me a power roll, Arthur. Spend 1 point of luck and you will find something good. You need a hard success.
Okay, I'll spend the luck.
This is a spell that you can learn tonight as you read it. It would take you another week of reading this book to get all of the information from here, which would increase your Cthulhu mythos. You could get some additional increases on there, an additional 4 points. But you can learn this spell, and I'm going to drag that onto your sheet. Let's see if it will let me. I don't know if that put that on there. No, let me do it this way. There. Now, you have a spell. To cast this the first time, you need to make a hard power roll, just like you did to learn the spell. The first casting, you need to make that. And once you do that, then you never have to do that again. You can cast it at will. To cast this spell, there is a cost. It will cost you 2 magic points. You have 10 magic points now. You will regain magic points at the rate of 1 per hour. So you could easily cast this 5 times, and then within 10 hours you'll have all your magic points back. So that's the only cost. You don't lose sanity or anything else. It's kind of a benign sort of spell. But the first time you cast it, you have to make that power roll. And as you stay up at night reading this book, you hear a soft chuckle, and it's Jason Trent, and he's kind of laughing in his sleep. And you look over, and his eyes are closed as though he is dreaming, but whatever dream he's having must be very pleasant indeed. Now, everyone else has gone to bed, Arthur, as you're reading this. Do you drift off to sleep as well?
I don't think I would like to.
Before I go to sleep, I made sure to save some of that crab for Gerald, because I love giving stuff to Gerald. And make sure he eats some.
Absolutely.
I'm like, hey Gerald, as a sign of token of friendship, how about you have some of these cool crab that I got?
Well, crab. Lovely.
And
Yeah.
do you eat the
Make
crab,
sure
Gerald?
Ooh. Patting his pocket where he has that uneaten candy earlier. He has a habit of not eating things offered to him.
Ooh, do you put
I'll
that
be
piece
like,
of
hey,
crab
Gerald.
in your pocket?
Gerald, no, whoa. Gerald, you would not eat the crab in front of me as a sign of friendship, right? You'll eat the crab, like, to show how cool of a person you are, you know, to make sure.
Friendship. Well, I couldn't say no to that.
As you eat the crab, again, it tastes delicious, but that aftertaste will linger with you for some time.
Well, lovely.
Glad I made sure Gerald ate that damn thing.
As you drift off to sleep, I need Jebediah and Gerald to make a power roll.
Yeah.
In fact, I wanted to mention something. I think that Jebediah, given all the information that he's gathered, he found it a little difficult to sleep, and he wants to go out to the front porch where he can smoke one of his cigarettes and consider all that he's heard. Perhaps maybe the back porch, that way he can look out into the forest, thinking he's very, his mind is set on those strange lights that he's heard so much of.
Perfect. As you go out, you're by yourself, it's dark, there's the sound of thunder. You're tired but unable to sleep, and you're enjoying your tobacco. Your mind drifts back to a time about 13 years ago when you were in Belgium, and the Germans were shelling the area, and every roar of thunder reminds you of that shelling. And you notice after a while your hand, as it pulls the cigarette from your mouth, is trembling. And the flash of lightning here and there reminds you of the flash of starburst shells above the battlefield. Give me a sanity roll, Jebediah.
Whoa.
Nice. You know it was just your experience. It's nothing other than that, but it still is somewhat troubling. Gerald, you made your willpower check.
Yeah, Ghost got a 35. What are the odds?
Perfect. Oh yeah, look at that. Everyone else, this will be... actually, Julian... Nope, sorry, you don't make a power check. Everyone else will have a dream. Let's see. So Alex will have the dream, and Julian, and Arthur, and Jebediah, you're going to have it as well. The only one that does not is Gerald. Gerald, you sleep peacefully.
That's good cramp.
For everyone else, let me send this to you. Let's see. I'll go to everyone but Luke. There we go. So everyone should get this. You are on a cold earthen floor. It is dark here, but not so dark that you don't realize you are in a root cellar. Gnarled knots of decayed vegetables droop above your head. Root tendrils brush against your face and bare shoulders when you stand. You are naked, cold, and vulnerable. You see long wooden shelves lining two walls, holding jars containing pulsing, slightly glowing objects. Could they be brains? As you begin to approach, you turn as you hear a low, ugly growl that makes your hair stand on end. The growl transforms into guttural words, speaking a strange language you don't understand. Panicking, you run toward the stairs, but in true nightmare fashion, the stairs never get any closer as you run and run. The roots grow thicker as you attempt to escape, grasping your hair and limbs. It is only when the strange voice reaches a booming of crescendo that the roots part and you finally stumble onto the stairs. Darting upwards, you see a sturdy-looking trapdoor barring the exit. The voice issues a final scream of rage as you hammer at the trapdoor and somehow manage to break it open, flooding the cellar with starlight. Sweating and panting, you climb outside to see that you are in a clearing surrounded by sugar maple trees. You take a few cautious steps across the wet grass. Something cold and sticky wraps around your ankles and begins to drag you back towards the cellar. Painfully, you are bundled down the stairs, and the last thing you hear before complete darkness descends is a roar of bestial laughter. You wake up shaking in abject terror, the laughter still echoing in your ears, and you realize why. Jason Trent is laughing. And that's where we end the session. Everyone was in bed except for Jebediah. You were out on the porch. You had closed your eyes for a moment, had this dream, and then as you wake up, you hear Jason Trent laughing in the next room. Those of you that, if this is your first, actually, everyone that heard the dream, so everyone but Gerald, I need a sanity roll.
What? Jared doesn't hear the dream?
Nope.
Damn, Gerald.
Gerald did not hear the dream.
Must be nice.
Great night.
Oh, Arthur, that's terrible.
Rusting.
What is it like to be well rested?
Whoa, Jebediah gets a good check.
Jebediah, man.
Whoa.
Jebediah.
Coming in hot. All right, let's start with
Arthur. He's the one who failed.
so Arthur. So you failed, and you've had a dream before, correct?
Oh,
Or is this
I don't
your
think
first
I
time
have.
dreaming?
This is my first time. Yeah.
Okay. You will lose this much sanity.
2.
Yep. 2 points. And Julian, this was your first dream. You lose 0.
Yep.
Jebediah, you lose 0. Marian, you lose 1 point of sanity.
All right.
Now we can go ahead and do some improvement rolls. Let me turn on the development phase. Perfect. So if you open your character, you should have the little ribbon with the 2 white gears on it on the left side. Click on where it says development phase, and then you can click on where it says recover luck points.
Wow.
Oh,
Nothing
Marian
upgraded.
got nothing.
That's rude.
Dang. And
At least I
Arthur,
got some luck back.
yeah, Arthur needed luck and got nothing.
Yeah.
Damn.
Jebediah got drive auto updated, but nothing else. Gerald got 2 skills. Julian got a ton of skills. Arthur got language and listen upgraded. And then everyone but Arthur got luck. And Arthur, your luck may be
What
running
fighting
out.
brawl is not upgraded? That's ridiculous.
I know,
That was
right?
my worst
It was
skill.
like 25%. Yeah, there were a few low ones. So Arthur's pottery was 30% and didn't upgrade. And fighting brawl didn't go up. And I think those were the 2 ones that's like, come on. Awesome. A night's sleep. Those that are injured, you will recover 1 hit point.
Yay.
So if your hit points are down, you can add 1 to your hit
Oh, yeah.
points.
Nice. I want 8 hit points. Not bad.
And then we will pick this up next time. But clearly, things are getting worse at Cobb's Corners. Any questions before I sign off? And I'll leave the server up for like an hour if anyone wants to do any work on your character. You can add to your backstory or any of your things there.
Was the bridge collapse was always part of it?
It was, yep.
Whoa.
So when I
that's
read
a-
that in your story, I thought, oh, that's perfect. I'm gonna add that in. So, yep, that was part of it. I've added
Something
a
tells me I
few
should have
little
just followed
things.
the. I should have just followed Bang rather than going back and trying to save you guys.
Right.
Crazy.
I did add under the handouts, there's the local folklore. I added the folklore from today. So you'll see one page will be first day folklore, then the next one is second day folklore. And so if you guys want to access the folklore, it is in there. And if you can't find it, it's in the journals. It should be under a time to harvest and then handouts, and you should see one called local folklore.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
Awesome. Well, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and sign off, and I will see you all in a week. Take care, everybody.